What's up, Dub Nation? Rich with Let's Go Warriors here. Also on Instagram Live, by the way. Um, Hold on. C link. Let me pin that. Obviously, if you're on Instagram, it's going to be like an hour limitation. And yeah, so we're on YouTube Live per usual. And I'm here to just get to the punchline. If we get LeBron, Moody has to get traded. And this has been confirmed by Yossi Gozlan. And it makes sense from the cap sheet. We're going to, on YouTube, I'm going to show you the spreadsheet. I double checked it before I went live. Double checked it, triple checked it. I tried to trade. I'll tell you why we can't trade Porzingis. Do that first, because that one feels like more obvious. And actually, I almost need to apologize to all the people that were on the live last night, because that's what we mocked up. We literally mocked up trading Porzingis because we just wanted to trade Porzingis more so than we did Moses. You know, kind of have an affinity towards Moses. And I was live for 2 hours, so we didn't have time to talk about any other scenarios, even though trading Moody has always been the scenario, one of the scenarios, if not trading Porzingis. And of course, Mark Stein discovering that Porzingis was tradable last night, that was kind of led us on a wild goose chase, quite honestly. I will explain that, and that's coming from Yossi Gozlan again. So this is not me making it up. I'm getting confirmation from the foremost cap expert. I mean, there's really a big three. It's Yossi, it's Bobby Marks, it's Keith Smith. You talk to any one of those three. For me, Yossi's a little bit more accessible. Keith Smith, I know as well, just not quite as accessible. He works for Spot Track, so he's a little busy updating that database. And yeah, so first thing, so nobody's talking about this, which is funny to me. But then again, I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. Like, to actually sit down and do these spreadsheets. So on YouTube, I'm going to pull up the back screen right now and show you, give you a peek of that spreadsheet. Although right now it shows my YouTube channel, because we're going to go listen to Yossi Gozlan when he hopped on our live 2 nights ago. He said that we wouldn't trade Porzingis, but I didn't want to bug him about it. I didn't want to, like, you know, probe too deeply into that. I just took his word for it. And then the next day, the next night, 24 hours later, we got Mark Stein tweeting out that, hey, I found out Kristaps is tradable and all of that. So what we're going to do is, I figured out it was the 5:45 mark of the live where Yossi joined us. So I'm just going to play that right here. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know why I'm like more nervous than usual. Maybe it's because I'm on Instagram right now. I don't know what it is, but let's go to 5:45. Anybody on Instagram, you'll be able to hear this in the background, I hope. You should just join us on YouTube. Quite frankly, it's more fun. Good to see all the regulars there, guys. Oh, Ice Cream Darkness wins. Okay. Appreciate you being on. All right, I'm waiting for YouTube to get past its advertisement right here, but I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth, and I think it's at the 5:45 mark. So let's see if I can go there. We're on for 2 hours there. Okay, here's Yossi. Let him tell you. Here we go. Okay. Oh, now we got an ad. It's stuck. We got the spiral of death. Come on now. Turn it up a little bit. Yeah, that was an ad. Okay. So I I would be very interested in doing this. What do you think of this? I put the 20 million for Kristaps up here. What if it was a sign-in trade and then you could go get Colin Sexton? I tried to not trade Moody, but we're really squeezing it here. So forget that. The 12 million of Moody would then go out like you've been saying. Yeah, what do you think about that in terms of acquiring LeBron versus?
Do you think sign and trade Porzingis for LeBron?
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, they have a deal. I don't think they'll renege on it.
Yeah. So
can they sign and I would sign and trade Draymond. I don't think.
Yeah. So, and he said
you probably wouldn't do it, but if you're
we wouldn't do it. Yeah. I would sign and trade Draymond. So he's looking at it from a transactional standpoint. He doesn't have any, he's not rooting for the Warriors. He's not rooting for anybody. We have our hearts mostly in Dub Nation with Draymond, and the fact that we know that he's an integral part of the organization. So in our eyes, the assumption is we would never trade Draymond. So the next step after that was, okay, let's it used to be a sign and trade of Kristaps. Same live, Dean Chambers, my co-host, was in the chat and goes, well, we can't sign and trade Kristaps at this was 2 nights ago. We can't sign and trade Kristaps because it wasn't a 3-year deal. It was only a 1+1. And I'm like, dang, we just spent like 3/4 of the live stream kind of talking about that and just getting a look at the spreadsheet for the first time. And then 24 hours later, as you guys know, you can go to our Discord where I keep track of everything. Mark Stein, man, I got to really scroll here. Let's go to the Dunleavy channel where I keep track of everything related to all roster moves. Go in the Dunleavy channel. And you guys know this. Those of you that were here 24 hours ago, it was like Sam Amick even chimed in and he goes, the Warriors can waive Porzingis before July 7th and only pay him $3 million in salary and so on and so forth. So we hopped on the spreadsheet and we traded Porzingis, man, right? We were elated. And if we did that, if you squeezed it around, especially if you traded Moody anyways, you brought in LeBron, you might be able to squeeze in, you trade for LeBron, so that's not using the non-taxpayer mid-level. Then you still have the non-taxpayer mid-level. And the way that I had it is if everybody agreed to get paid the non-taxpayer mid-level, which is $15 million, then you can bring in a non-taxpayer mid-level, which was the idea to get Colin Sexton, which goes back to the original question to Yossi. And basically he said, so I followed up today. I texted him and he was like, no, Porzingis isn't getting traded. It's just like a bug. He quote unquote bug in the exception. I didn't probe any further because I didn't want to bother him. This guy is up 24/7, as am I. And it's right before I noticed he was late this morning because 5 a.m. the first one came out. Shams, I forget who it was. And then Keith Smith, they're all updating Bobby Marks. And I was like, where's Yossi? Well, Yossi's the only one on the West Coast. So 5 a.m. I just stayed up all night because I was doing a podcast based on the last live stream. So I wasted 2 hours doing that podcast because I didn't want to bother Yossi Gozlan at 1 a.m. So soon as daybreak, 6 a.m., I text him and he texts me back real quick. So I got him before he started to dive in. And he goes, nah, you're not trading Porzingis. It's just a quirk in the thing. So I'm like, dang. So that means Moody's gone because when did Melton's news come in? Let's check. Let me just go to the Melton section. See, this is why the Discord is pretty cool. Like if you don't want to just search for a needle in a haystack, of course you can do the search on Discord, which is awesome. You can just go to the Melton section, which by the way, here's the Discord. It's hosted on WAP. I call it a knowledge base. WAP.com, Let's Go Warriors. And I'll pin that on YouTube. WHOP.com/Let's Go Warriors. There's ironically, and no pun intended, there's actually a bug in the Discord right now. It accidentally signs you up for the Let's Go Valkyries Discord. But if you sign up for that, I'll have your ID and then I can switch you over in a couple days when I get some sleep, first of all. But let's go to the Melton channel. And that one occurred at 9:43 a.m. or thereabouts, 9:30. So at 9:30, I texted Yossi. I go, okay, DeAnthony Melton was signed using the biannual exception, which I totally forgot. Like, I'm kicking myself that being under the tax, you can use the non-tax pyramid level and the biannual. I should have built that in, because every Warriors GM, ever since Bob Myers and probably all 30 GMs, they want optionality. The people on Warriors Twitter will joke about that and throw Mike and Joe under the bus about that, but it's true. So I forgot about that. And so that's what we signed DeAnthony on. So I've got the spreadsheet now on YouTube, and let's just go to the Melton one. So the Melton one is just really basic. Where we are right now. Kristaps, according to Spot Track, 19,230,000. So next year he would make a little bit more, even though only 3 million of it's guaranteed. But if it's fully guaranteed by, I guess it would be July 7th, 27. I'm going to guess on that. It's on Spot Track. Actually, I have it open right here. So let me refresh on Spot Track. Yep. No, fully guaranteed. Okay, that's this year. Player option, 3 million guaranteed. I don't know what the guarantee date is, but it does say the player option date is June 29th of next year, obviously. Same thing as this year. Draymond, I've zeroed out because he's waiting in the wings. And I've gone ahead and put LeBron in there at 15 million. It can be another free agent at the non-tax pyramid level. That's fine. Moody is still on the team right now. So this is right now. DeAnthony Melton, there it is. That's the BAE, biannual exception, at 5,477,000. That's official. So our total salaries are 201 million. And yeah, I didn't even add anybody else. Actually, that's with the non-taxpayer. So that gets under the first apron, which you need to be. However, just do the back of the napkin math right away. 201 million in total salaries. First apron, 209 million. Moody's still on the team. I zeroed out Draymond. I assumed we got LeBron or some free agent at 15 million. The only thing you can pay Draymond is the difference. Less than 8 million. So this is not going to work. You can't sign Draymond for less than $8 million when everybody else is fixed. Someone has to go. There's only one someone that can go. It's Moody. He has the only salary that can get Draymond at a reasonable, like a acceptable number. So I traded Moses. And I said, what's the absolute floor that I would pay Draymond? And I said, let's just match LeBron, 15 million. Or to be exact, 15,044,000. That's the number. That's the most you can pay a guy coming on the non-tax pyramid level. I didn't even put LeBron's name yet. I just said free agent. So Draymond's at 15, non-tax pyramid level 15. I've traded Moses out. You have to. You can't fit under the first apron. And I've replaced him with a veterans minimum, 2,045,000. I had to leave the 15th slot empty. I signed LeJay Jones purposely because we can get him cheaper because he's a second round pick. So paying Draymond the same as LeBron, I still had to trade Moses. Now, I can pay Draymond $5 million more. I have actually it's not $5 million. It's $5 million minus Quinten Post's salary, which would be 200,000 more than the veterans minimum. And so that's roughly 2.4 million, 2.3 million of wiggle room here. We only have 2.3 million of wiggle room. And that's trading Moses out, replacing him with Gary Payton, let's say, or whatever veterans minimum. It's the same charge, 2.45 million. And so we know in the news that Quinten Post is getting interest from other teams. So I gave the rest of that money to Quinten Post just in case someone wants to offer him something. But all they have to do is kind of guess what we're going to pay Draymond and LeBron and pay Quinten Post more, offer him more. So they're scheming right now. They can steal if you think Quinten Post is eventually worth this much. And I think he is. The only problem with his game is that he doesn't have the killer mentality just yet. You know, I always go back. It's almost like I've thrown him under the bus a million times for this. The Minnesota game, wide open three, 1 minute to go. You're down one. Just shoot the three. He didn't shoot it. Deer in the headlights, traveling or whatever it was, shot clock violation. And it was downhill from there. Now he was injured as well, but I've been there, man. I remember I played in an Asian American tournament with my boys, Phil Am guys. Shout out Andrew Shin. Shout out Neil Nicholas if you're out there. Randy Tagle, my guys, man. But this was early in my career, amateur career, playing with the Filipino kids, although Andy was Korean. So me, Chinese, Andy, Korean, everybody else Filipino. So we're playing in Sacramento State. I had the ball last second, down one. I had the ball, elbow, rise, should have shot it, even if it was an air ball. I passed it to Neil, down low. I chickened out. I passed it to Neil. Buzzer sounded. I've been there. Quinten Post, I feel for you. But that made you more expendable. But if I'm another team, I can probably forgive him for that and just go, oh, we'll work on that. I got you. Now, the way I have it, the most we can pay Quinten Post is $5 million this upcoming year. So if somebody comes in, now this is, again, Draymond and LeBron there's a lot of variables, a lot of moving parts. Draymond and LeBron at the non-taxpayer mid-level, $15 million. Then we can pay Quinten Post the most of $5 million. So all one team needs to come through is $6 million, and they can steal Quinten Post. But it happens, guys. I mean, that's what happens when you get, in the business of trying to attract LeBron as a free agent. So again, Moody has to go. Now, let me prove to you that Moody has to go. I tried to trade Podziemski. Now, okay, you could trade Yaxel. Who the hell's doing that? That's crazy. You could trade Al Horford, but that's kind of the same thing. You probably can't even trade Al Horford if it was bird rights, 6-month non-trade. So you probably can't even trade Al Horford. But even if you could, it'd be like with Porzingis, sign a deal and just renege and then trade you. Bye-bye. Just like Yossi said. So who's left? Brandon Podziemski. Let me try to trade pods. So here's the spreadsheet for that. So I zero out pods. And what else do we have here? I zero out pods. We can even let Quinten Post walk. See what happens. Yep. Even if we let him walk, or even if this is a 0, we're barely under that first apron. It's such a tight squeeze. We wouldn't be able to fill out the roster because we have 2 0 slots, and you can only have 1 0 slot, that being the 15th man. So I tried to trade pods. It doesn't work. We're over the first apron. Your hard cap at the first apron for using the non-tax and the biannual. So yeah, now the only other thing is that what if LeBron just doesn't come and we don't use the non-taxpayer? Now, again, if I just had open office hours with Yossi Gozlan, I would have had this as my follow-up question, but I want to respect the man's time. And by the way, let me check my phone. Let's make sure the LeBron, I haven't checked the comments. Oh, Anthony, what's up, Anthony? Thanks for my blue wrench. Where would I be without you, brother? Let's see. Nope. Thankfully, no news. I got to keep my phone on there. So if LeBron doesn't come, here is the situation. I marked his slot as no more non-taxpayer mid-level. We just go back. We go back to no, but D'Anthony used the biannual. We keep Moody because LeBron never came. And because we use the biannual for D'Anthony Melton, and we're under the first apron, we can pay Draymond up to $20 million. The other thing we could do is pay him the original salary. So let me just try that right here. Roughly $27 million. It was more than that. We're now a second apron team. Then we can use the taxpayer mid-level to get D'Anthony, which he would like because maybe it's more. So that'd be interesting if that happened. I would love to see a team just kind of pivot towards being a taxpayer after all signs were showing they were being a non-taxpayer. But yeah, due to the exceptions and stuff, it's not like you can just, all these contracts are guaranteed and locked. You can't just like give a guy extra. No, you can't do that. You just have to give a whole bunch to Draymond. And then if you're over the first apron, you're therefore under the second apron. Therefore, you can utilize the taxpayer mid-level, which is $6 million, and pay D'Anthony a little bit more that way. And whatever's left over, give to Draymond. I think you can do that because we actually didn't use the non-taxpayer. It became a veterans minimum. And again, you can't pay a guy more than the veterans minimum. That's what happens with top heavy teams. But every team's got a number of stars, and then it's veterans minimums, and you can't do anything other than those, right? Unless you want to trade a guy. So that's my conclusion. I mean, basically, back to the title of this whole video. If we get LeBron, Moody has to go. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, Yossi Gozlan confirmed that. So, I mean, I should feel more confident about that, but then we went through the rabbit hole of Kristaps, and I feel like just when I figure it out, some new wrinkle happens. So I'm waiting for this new wrinkle, but I've been through the reps, and it's like I said last night, it's like Steph doing your 3-pointer refs. I'm not going to be totally, got my arms around cap sheets completely. I probably never will. You just got to keep doing these reps and just walk through it. So I don't mind every single time I go live to come on here. So I just got somebody commented he can take the vet minimum on YouTube. I don't think so. What is this? Warriors sign first round pick Yaxel. Okay, cool. Let me see what that comment is. That somebody commented on the regular comments. Shame on me to check the regular comments rather than the live comments. I'll get to you guys, but I needed to just explain all of that, right? It makes sense, right? Now, if you have a question, ask it in the comments on YouTube right now. and then we'll go to comments because there's nothing else for me to show you on the spreadsheet. Let's pull up the Discord in the background so that if a tweet pops up, it'll just pop up on my back screen here. I use Bay Area Journalists Live because I have like Bobby Marks, Yossi's on here, Mark Stein. So all the big boys, Shams, and there's Brett Siegel. Warriors have officially signed Yaxel. Okay, he can take the minimum. Oh, he wants LeBron to take the minimum. Yeah, right. Why would LeBron take the minimum? LeBron, I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world. LeBron be like, well, I'm LeBron, so sorry, Moses, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Pay me. And we would. Now, the good news about losing Moody in the process of gaining LeBron is that Moody's contract comes off the books in 2 years anyways. So we get to hit the reset button next summer. That's the other thing, aside from the title and the tweets that I sent that said, why is no one in Dub Nation talking about this? We're about to lose Moody if we get LeBron. And guys, you got to have patience, man. This is important. Don't be rude in the comments. You want me to read your comment? Just wait, man. Patience comes to those who don't care. You care too much, my friend. Just don't care. Just relax. Have fun with it. This is basketball. There's no need to pressure me to read your comment and all of that. Come on, I'm not about that. No, that's low vibrational. I don't want to hang around people like that. Okay. So next summer, the other thing that's major that no one in Dub Nation's talking about, even Yossi Gozlan said this on our live. If you want to watch that live, it was the old one. Go to the homepage of the YouTube channel. Scroll all the way down. You'll see the collabs with Yossi Gozlan. 2 months ago, we mocked up Kawhi. The other mock-up he suggested, Anthony Davis. I said no to that. I was right. Turns out I was right. And the Kawhi deal, the Clippers got more than I would have offered. So good on you, Toronto. And Kawhi never wanted to come here anyways. He wanted San Antonio or Toronto. Okay. So yeah, one last thing. Next summer, everyone comes off the books except for Moody, but the salary is manageable, $13 million. Kristaps, we can waive him and only charge $3 million. Yaxel is on a rookie scale, so everybody's happy with that. I'm sure he's going to be awesome. Probably going to be all rookie and $6,400,000 bargain. He'll probably be playing like a non-tax pyramid level. Podziemski, I would not extend him. I would not even extend Steph, especially what Draymond just did. Like, if Steph wants to be like Draymond, wants to be like Jalen Brunson, no extension yet. Let's figure it out next summer. You have our word that we will keep you a Warrior as long as you want to. Like, we're not going to renounce you at all. Al Horford, though, player option, a little bit more than $7 million. So we got already $26 million on the books. Guy Santos, $31 million. Will Richard at, see, this is wrong because Kristaps only $3 million. So that's $10 million. Pods, don't give him an extension yet. I'll be surprised. I mean, if August comes around and we give him an extension, then I'll learn. I'll try and figure out why. Melton, player option, so you got to count that one. So that's about $6 million. Horford, $7 million, 13. Moses, so that's 26, 27 million. 30 million, Kristaps, 36 million with Yaxel. 41 million with Guy, 44 million tops with Will Richard, 44 million. Salary cap's going to be like 165,000 or more, 165 million or more. So we've got 120 million in cap space. If you guys are looking at the Lakers right now and you're going, how are they able to get all these free agents? They're picking and choosing. They get to whoever they want. By the way, the deep rumor is they're going after Jonathan Kuminga. So that's hilarious for all the people that throw Jonathan under the bus. From the land on the Lakers with Luka, that's pretty nice. Now, whatever happens, happens. And I'm rooting for him. I want him to be happy. So yeah. But everybody that thought, that threw him under another opportunity to bully him online and throw him under the bus, throw his agent under the bus when his option wasn't picked up, the Lakers are interested in him. And so, the Lakers are doing interesting things. Sam Quinn doesn't think they're doing a good job, and he thinks Luka will leave and go back to Dallas and join Cooper Flagg in 2 years or 1 year, whatever it is. But we will have mounds and mounds of space, and we can do what the Lakers are doing now. So next summer is going to be really fun next summer. It'll be the best Warriors offseason ever for you guys. Some of you fans probably don't deserve that. I kid. We all deserve it. No, just stop acting entitled. Okay, let's go to the comments for people who were patient. Ice Cream Darkness wins, and Jonathan Santiago and Daniel Barry. Denzel, what's up? LeBron to the Warriors makes no damn sense. It does when you consider who the heck else are we going to get now. We can get Rui Hachimura, same transaction. We can get Anthony Simons, same transaction. I was going to say, and I did want Colin Sexton, but he took a smaller deal with the Lakers. I'm sure we let his agent know it's a possibility. Maybe we're interested. It was rumored way long ago. And then he took the room mid-level with the Lakers because it's more fun to join the Lakers right now. And we probably couldn't even offer him, a ton of minutes. I don't know. I think, yeah, because I don't know. Maybe there were rumors behind the scenes that Melton was coming back. And so if Colin Sexton is like, well, you guys are going to get Melton again, where's my playing time? Let me go to the Lakers. That's more fun. So no hard feelings. And Yossi made a list of available free agents. Let's go take a look. It's in the salary cap channel, which is a free channel. And salary cap's right here. So let's see. He made a super long list about 2 hours ago or something. Is this one? Oh, he said, here are some guys that could hit free agency with a buyout. DeMar, Zach LaVine, Klay Thompson, Valanciunas, KCP, Buddy Hield, D'Angelo. What's interesting is if Klay got bought out, I mean, if we utilize the non-taxpayer mid-level, we could theoretically make some moves that make space for Klay, and it doesn't necessarily have to be now, unless he gets bought out now versus February. But if we were into the first apron below the second apron, we wouldn't be able to sign Klay at all. It's disallowed. So there are some, in case you want to, root with your heart and you have this, little bit of a fantasy that Klay might ever come back to the Warriors, maybe a buyout in February. But we have to be under the first apron for that. Top free agents. So James Harden probably go back to Cleveland. Jalen Duren, we know about that. Peyton Watson, we know. Those are restricted. Tari Eason, Benedict, those are all restricted, probably going back to the same teams because teams like the Lakers and Bulls have already, they're well on their way to filling up the cap space. And with restricted free agency, you have to overpay, which the Lakers already did for Kessler. Man, they have no picks ever. So I'm kind of glad the Lakers are they're all in with Luka with this roster for the next couple of years. Ha. Too bad. Could have been better. I mean, it might get better. They might get JK. So Anthony Simons, John Collins is already headed to, you guys know, he's headed somewhere. Detroit, right? Tobias is going to go to the freaking Spurs. What a nice pickup on both sides. Rui is still available. Kelly Oubre got picked up at a rather low price, $9 million, 8.5 for, a two-way wing who below average three-point shooting, but he's got playoff experience, what have you. Andre Drummond, man, kind of slim pickings, although this is just top free agents. So, and I would consider Andre Drummond a veteran's minimum at this point. So, yeah. Brandon Williams is still out there. There was a rumor that we were interested in him. Younger guy, maybe vet minimum, maybe not. Now, if we go back and become a tax team, then we can. No, then we got to use the taxpayer mid-level for Melton. So never mind that. He's going to have to come on a veterans minimum, that guy, Brandon Williams. And going back to Discord, yep, that's about it, guys. I don't see a whole bunch of good free agents left. So to answer your question, LeBron to the Warriors makes no damn sense. It does now, because that's the only way to improve the team. Him or Rui. Really, that's it. And Moody, as I mentioned last night, how many games is Moody going to play between now and whenever he gets back? 0, right? How many games is LeBron going to play, or Rui? More than 0. Therefore, I can, it just so happens Moses is out of luck because, unfortunately, it's just bad timing. It's horrible timing. But you never know. He might end up on a pretty good team. And we would trade him maybe for, a second rounder, and maybe Brandon Williams, go to Dallas straight up. I'm sure Dallas would be like, no, we're not giving you no second round pick for Brandon Williams, but we sure would love Moody when he gets back, and he's better than Brandon Williams when Moody is 100%. Okay, we'll do the deal straight up. Or you can find a team that, maybe values Moody out there. I don't know, Detroit, they know he's injured, and then, okay, yeah, we actually value Moody. We'll send you a second round pick. That'll clear some space for us, which needs to happen. So, Bron to the Cavs. Yeah, well, you know what? Let's go to capsheets.com, Yossi's site. But what can they afford? They are second apron, man. I don't think so. See, when you understand cap sheets, you're so much smarter than the average fan. And I don't mean a little bit smarter. I mean way, way smarter. Now, let's see where they are. Total salaries. Okay. They're still building their team. They got 2 spots to fill. They can renounce Craig Porter, but it's still a vet min. And they don't even have James Harden yet. How are they going to do that? Pretty sure they want James Harden on the team coming back. I mean, whole reason why he opted out was a goodwill gesture, just like Draymond, that, okay, we won't leave you out there hanging in free agency at the last moment. We will re-sign you. Handshake. So LeBron's got to fit into that. And I don't know how they'll do it. They're going to be pushing it because even if you paid Harden, 25 million? 25. And then you're pushing the first apron. Yeah. Yeah. It's not happening. LeBron and the Cavs would have to be probably taxpayer mid-level. So right now, as it stands, why would LeBron go to the Cavs? And he just wants happiness. Remember, that's what Sean said. Doesn't necessarily need to go onto a more championship team. And the Warriors culture, have you been to Chase Center? The locker room is immaculate. The facility is immaculate. 5-star restaurants on the road, 5-star restaurant catered food, which I've actually had leftovers of. Usually it's pretty darn good food that me and the security guards, we scrap over late at night at the arena, or I used to. I'm retired from that now. I don't want to be doing that anymore. That means I'm flying around on budget airlines, trying to get into arenas, staying at Airbnbs. It's a lot of loss of sleep. No, thank you. I like being here on YouTube and analyzing from afar and trying to spread the same high vibrations as I would if I were at Warriors practice. There'd be no complaining if you were at Warriors practice filming somebody shoot around, even if it's Malavi Leon's, let alone Steph Curry. All right, so I don't think the Cavs can do this. I think ours looks better than the Cavs. Now, the other guy is Miami. So let's look at Miami real quick and, kind of just look under every rock. Their payroll is even higher than James Harden's team, but they don't need to sign James Harden. So, yep, Giannis, Bam, and Andrew Wiggins. Still don't know why they didn't restructure Andrew instead of just extending him. Sam Quinn said the same thing, but maybe, and the only thing I would think of is maybe there was an offer for Andrew Wiggins somewhere else. And Andrew was like, okay, they'll match it, but I'll stay here if you just keep my same salary this year. And Pat Riley's like, all right. That's what I think happened. He has to know that restructuring it would have been way smarter. So they need to stay under the first apron because they acquired Giannis and took on more salary. So they've got 3 spots to fill and $12 million to go. So the offer for LeBron there is also is a veteran's minimum. The Cavs, maybe taxpayer at most. We're in the running, man. We're way far ahead of Cleveland and Miami. And by the way, Minnesota. So let me get back to Lord-based God over here. Are you on the live? Are you on the live right now? Live right now. I cannot spell when I'm live streaming. I just looked at Cavs cap sheet. Would you take a minimum if there was space for 15 mil? Or are you communist? I'm just playing. Hey, if he's going to throw around, shit like he throws around, then he has to be able to take shit. That's on him. That's not on me. I'm just having fun with it. Do you think anything's going to happen to Poz? I hope I answered that. No, does not work mathematically. Go after Anthony Simons, skip LeBron. Sure. Oh, yeah, Trey Murphy. We owe Phil Mack and Todd, wherever Todd is, mocking up Trey Murphy. Why don't we do that? I've only been live 45 minutes. The Zlatan guy. Oh, we got Zlatan on here. I wanted the Warriors to sign Mamu last year. How are we going to fit him? Last year? If Mamu was available this year, how was he available last year? Come on, man. Oh, man. Get rid of Post. He's almost a minimum, and someone's probably going to offer him more. Like, do you understand there's like no need to use those words when someone's going to poach him anyways? Get rid of him. Why do I need to, show him the door? Like, I mean, someone's going to poach him. Someone's going to crash the door open and take him. I don't need to show him the door. That's rude. Why be rude when you can just do nothing? Oh, because you're on social media and you're thumb typing and you're addicted to that rudeness. Oh, I forgot. I get it. I know how it works. IRL, not equal social media behavior. I get it. It's okay. Go be you on social media. I know you're a nice guy in real life. I know that. It's just a disease of society. NY Greedy. Thank you, Anthony. Man, how you been, man? Long time no see. You going to be on our watch parties this year? And I explain why it's not pause. Thank you, Anthony. Look at Anthony doing hard work and answering your incessant objections. They're not even questions, they're objections. Steph for Jimmy takes a pay cut. They can only do that next summer, not right now. Whereas Peyton? Peyton's he's a veteran's minimum. Okay. It's not, nothing against Peyton. Just add him right here. Put him in Moody's slot. I'm just leaving it option, whatever veterans minimum you want. Gary, I don't know who's out there. Chris Middleton, I didn't even put LeBron's name in here. So I decided to keep it real. I didn't want any confusion that we had signed Gary Payton. That's the real reason. If I didn't put LeBron in there, I'm not going to put Gary. But I love Gary, and I hope it is him because I think he's a baller. And he's a bargain at veterans minimum. Who are we putting on the floor with LeBron? Tim Kawakami has a roster listed out, but I mean, if you can imagine this cap sheet right here as a roster, fully healthy, Steph, Jimmy. Now, I'm in the camp where I want Draymond to come off the bench and finish the game, defending Wemby, defending Jokic, what have you. I'm going to start Al at the 5. No, I got Kristaps. We didn't trade Kristaps. I got to remember, in real life, we're not trading Kristaps. So Kristaps at the 5, Al backs him up. Steph at the 1, Jimmy's the 2, LeBron's the 3, Yaxel's my 4. Yeah, I'm starting Yaxel. I am. Now, maybe it'll take a month, but eventually I want Draymond limited minutes. I do want him finishing the game, which means second and fourth quarter rotation, you're not starting. But it's just the rotation, right? We got to find out our first 8 or 9. And subbing in for Bron is Guy Santos. Subbing in for Steph is DeAnthony and or Brandon. And, you got Will Richard in the back. And if it's not Quinten Post, Charles Bassey. Why not? I like him. He's got more killer mentality than QP anyways. And he's got a good-looking 3 that, maybe that killer mentality will will some 3s in for Bassey as his volume goes up. But whatever, these are all like almost minimum slots that you're not supposed to worry about. They're not game-changing slots. It's the first 7, 8, 9, 10 that's going to be game changers. So it's not all that bad. And there wasn't much we could do to begin with. Remember, I hopped on with Yossi 2 months ago. He gave me the inception of going after Kawhi. I realized Kawhi makes less than Jimmy. So if I went and got Kawhi using Jimmy, and then I added pods, I get off $11 million of salary. Yo, we can get under the tax. So I just went and got Kawhi. I spent a couple draft picks, and I got under the tax. Then I can use another 15 million slot for somebody. And that probably would have been LeBron. Now your super team is LeBron, Kawhi at the 2, Steph instead of Jimmy. But obviously that didn't happen. But if it wasn't Kawhi, Yossi wanted me to, okay, scenario number 2, Anthony Davis. I'm like, nah, I don't want Anthony Davis, sorry. And so I was like, all right, let's do Kawhi. I reluctantly did it at the time, not knowing that we could get under the tax, which then I made multiple videos of on our channel. So I wanted Kawhi the whole time as a mechanism to get another non-taxpayer mid-level. Can you imagine if we gotten Kawhi and Anthony Simons, let's say, or Colin Sexton at that point? But throughout this whole saga, Kawhi never wanted to go anywhere but Toronto or San Antonio, and he could use the power of his, I might just be a rental for you. I'm not going to sign that extension. So why would I spend 2 draft picks, pick up Kawhi, then he leaves? That's crazy. Although that's what Toronto did and they won a championship. But we're not quite on the precipice of a championship ourselves, right? So there wasn't much we could do anyways. Really the best thing that we could do other than signing and trading Porzingis. And what I've come to learn is that wasn't going to happen. I don't know. It's just with Kristaps, it's a situation where you kind of just have to trade him in February and like rehabilitate his value because he missed too many games. Somewhat untradeable. And someone just commented about that. So let me see if I can answer him. Join the live. Duh. I just explained it. LaDale Brown. Who's LaDale Brown? You're not looking very smart, LaDale Brown. Do we have enough cap space for Rui? If we had enough cap space for LeBron, then by definition, we have enough for Rui. So it's either LeBron or Rui, Anthony Simons, or whoever else was on that list. There's not a whole bunch left. Let's go to Discord real quick. Make sure, Jonathan Kuminga. Nah, you never know. I mean, that's not going to happen because JK would never sign to play for Steve again. That is a bridge that has been obliterated. And the rest of them are restricted free agents. If anything, just like Yossi said, the other optionality would be to sign and trade Draymond. And we know that that's not happening. So let's catch up. Anything happen? Anything happen? San Antonio no longer going to pursue LeBron. Duh. Tobias Harris just signed non-taxpayer. Like, I don't need to, retweet that or put that in the Discord. The moment Tobias signed at the non-taxpayer mid-level, they're not going to get LeBron. Like, it's a lot simpler than you think. Like, all of these cap sheets all intertwined together, 30 teams. It's actually a lot simpler than you would ever believe. You just need to dip your toe and not be afraid of spreadsheets. The moment you get over that fear, the IQ, I encourage everybody to do this because my goal is to make everybody a smarter NBA/Warriors fan, especially a better Warriors fan, because people complain too much on social media. If you understood all these spreadsheets, you wouldn't complain as much because you'd be able to predict it. Like, I was on the live 2 nights ago. I said, someone's going to steal Quinten Post. All they got to do is offer like 4 million, 5 million. Easy, easy poach. Sure enough, last night, Mark Stein goes, Quinten Post is getting some offers. I could have told you that. It's like stealing candy from a kid. Like, just do the math. So, guys, get involved in these numbers. Understand first apron, second apron. I mean, yeah, it's a learning curve. Maybe I should do a online course. I got to charge for that, though. Go get Rui. I mean, so you're saying Rui more so than LeBron? Are you crazy? So essentially, Rui is better than Bron? Wow. Wow. I don't even think a Laker fan would tell you that. Trade for Jaylen Brown. How do I say this? Let's see. I mean, if you just follow the rumor mill, that's not happening. Why would they want Jimmy? Why would the Celtics want Jimmy? Or the complication of having to reroute Jimmy? I'd rather just keep Jaylen Brown as a Celtic and let's just go see what happens until February. And that's what we said on these live streams. The people that have been here live stream after live stream, they already know the answer to this. Yeah, we'll definitely look at Jaylen in February. The problem is the Celtics better be a 500 team, number one, or far from Eastern Conference Finals contention, or not far, but pretty distant. And then we got to suck. So a lot of things have to happen for us to revisit that. And Jimmy has to actually be back fully healthy for him to be an asset. So one thing that gets glossed over all the time by Warriors fans, Jimmy's hurt, man. We got a $56 million player that got hurt. He could play 0 games until, again, if he has Patrick Mahomes ligaments, maybe Thanksgiving. But Patrick Mahomes is one of one. So maybe Christmas if Jimmy Butler's at the second tier below Mahomes. But if he's normal, then I would think trade deadline, February, right? January. Before the All-Star break, so you get a little bit of burn. So Jaylen Brown, by the way, all you got to do is go to Hoops Hype, team salaries, look up Celtics, get yourself familiar with these contracts because they show 4 years out, and you can see Jaylen Brown, $57 million. So actually, Anthony, you're wrong. The reason why you don't do the Jaylen deal is because it takes two to tango, and the Celtics would never want to have to reroute Jimmy. It's too complicated for them, number one. Jaylen Brown's salary matches Jimmy. So let's revisit that in February. But I'd rather not revisit that because that means we suck in February, right? I'm hoping we're a good team. If LeBron wants happiness, I bet is he will end up on the Spurs. You saw the post just now. They just got Tobias Harris. What other moves can we make after signing LeBron? We've made the moves after signing LeBron. We've already, quote unquote, moved. Number one, we signed Melton. Actually, we signed Al ahead of free agency, right? Announced it. Didn't sign him yet. We will sign him. Then we signed Melton. Then we will sign Draymond. And that's it. There's nothing else you can do here other than sign a veterans minimum. They're not going to do this because we're so squeezed under the first apron. We're going to leave a spot open, which sucks because, that's another advantage for trading out Moses is you're going to get a healthy player back. So out of 14 slots, we get the 3 two-way guys. Okay, so +3, but normal NBA roster, full contract, we would have had 12 guys. Man, that's tough. That's tough. And that's another vote for LeBron over Moody. If you're a businessman and you're in that office over at Chase Center and you're with Lacob and Dunleavy, Kirk Lacob, and all the people that run the business, at the very least, you'll get a healthy guy. So that is one reason to be okay with trading Moody. Seth Curry, I think his days are numbered. He couldn't even stay healthy. Don't know. Thanks, KBZ. How many likes do we have? Probably a ridiculously paltry number, huh? Let me hit refresh on that screen. 25 likes. We have 100. Man, you guys, whatever. It's all good. It's just, oh man. How nice of you. I'm not here to make you feel bad about yourself. I refuse to be like Twitter. They want you to feel bad about your team. I'm here to make you feel better about your team. That's the Let's Go Warriors difference. That's what I'm known for. Spread the word. Tell Warriors Twitter because they don't have the ability to do this. They don't want to do this. They want to see me go down. The good thing is I'm no longer having to be at this arena and that arena and that arena and just making myself super exhausted so I can't be on here. That was the problem. What is this? The kid we have on the UDFA Ike. Oh, Graham. Graham Ike is better than Bassie? Okay, we'll see. I have no idea. Come back to this. Are you a type of guy that will have accountability, as Draymond said on the Draymond Green Show? Can't restructure? Nope. Well, this is not football. This is NBA, where all salaries that are guaranteed and unchangeable unless you want restructure it upwards. You can't restructure it downwards for obvious reasons. Why would they let me restructure this just so I can restructure it and add more players, right? Duh, right? So don't mean to make you feel bad about yourself. It's pretty obvious once you just peel the onion a little bit more on the spreadsheets, and you'll see that it wouldn't be fair. We want to be fair, and we want rules that apply to everybody, and that would be ridiculous. A Porzingis trade is still possible. Well, I explained why it wasn't. Yossi Gozlan told me. It's not me making it up. It's a cap expert with sources in the NBA saying that would be a bad look. That would be reneging on Porzingis. That doesn't happen in the NBA. Porzingis will not be traded. I said that already at the top. Sign KCP. How? You got to give me the exception. KCP is going to come on a vet min? Isn't he? He's a free agent. He's going to get bought out, or what's going on? Grizzlies, 21 million guaranteed. Let me check Twitter. And let's check Discord to make sure we didn't miss anything. Henri Visar. LeBron time. I already listened to that. That was okay. It was okay. I was told, I'm not saying this myself, although I am. I believe this as well. Go check out Let's Go Warriors. You just got to search Let's Go Warriors on Spotify. You go listen to our podcast, and then you go listen to other podcasts. You be the judge. Basically, what I put on the podcast is what we're doing here on the live. Like, which Warriors reporter is going to pull up a spreadsheet? Nobody. I'm the only one doing it. I stepped up. It wasn't easy. I don't like spreadsheets, but now I feel so good about it. Like, now I get it. It's like the Matrix. So KCP, let's go look up Twitter. Oh, man. What's going on? You know what? I know. We'll go to Hoops Hype, because if you search on people, it's great because they tell you the latest rumors. So search on Pope. Expected to exercise player option, remain with Grizzlies. How are we going to get Pope? You want to trade Draymond? That's the only way. Or you could trade Moses and Yaxel. Ain't happening. He can give back dollars, I believe. But why? No, he can't. He can't give back dollars. Losing QP for offering a 5 multi-year deal would be so stupid. How's it stupid when there's nothing you can do about it? You've got 62 million going to Steph, 56 to Jimmy. What did you want to do? And don't use the word S. Golly. You guys want to throw people under the bus. Can't you just, Be nice. You're going to step up to some stranger in a coffee shop and go, "That's so stupid, man. Who does that?" I forgot. Social media. Somebody probably saying that on Instagram. I can see it's scrolling. I'm just going to time you off for 10 seconds. No biggie. Yeah. I may have accidentally timed out somebody else. Oops. Sorry. I made it 10 seconds though. If we don't get LeBron, who is starting for Warriors at the beginning of the season? There's no Butler, no Moody. Well, Melton. Pods. Guy Santos if necessary, although that would be another forward. We aren't good enough even with LeBron. Oh, here we go again. Trying to make me feel bad about my team. Raffo Peralta. What is this addiction that you have? Can I help you with that? I don't know. Just keep coming back. I think the first step is to stop thumb typing all that. You know, that whole paragraph you just wrote, that took a lot of thumb action. Like that energy right there, save it for something else, something good, not to complain about something else. Like, you know, I've had road rage before, but you know, the difference I figured out the moment I stopped road rage was when I figured out that it wasn't because the guy cut me off. Had nothing to do with that person. It's something else. You got to go find that deep down hidden thing, that little fear that you have deep down inside. If you can find that or start to find that or just try, oh man, it'll change your life. It's the best thing ever to figure those things out. So just the constant whining about the Warriors, our front office sucks and this and that. I get it, but I see it. I can see the matrix. We're doing the best that we can. I already went through this diatribe last live, but I guess I'll repeat myself. We had Steph Curry on a super discount. We were able to bring Kevin Durant. We had at one point in time on our cap sheet 4 Hall of Famers in their prime, my friend. 5 if you include Andre Iguodala. We actually had to trade Andre. Remember that? Now, Kevin Durant left, but we were able to retain that salary slot, which is why you signed Kristaps. Same reason why you go and sign D'Angelo Russell. Like back then, you're like, what are we doing signing D'Angelo Russell? Because they'll leave for nothing. That's why. You want to preserve the salary slot. That's why you signed Porzingis. Another thing, I mean, I've covered all the basics already. So if you're done with the basics, all good. But I'm going to go into some detail here. Kristaps cannot take more. I said this last night. Kristaps, the CBA does not allow us to give him a pay cut more than 40%. So the people, the familiar faces on Warriors Twitter that were like, oh, are we outbidding ourselves? Joe Lacob at it again and blah, blah, blah. Like Joe Lacob, let's throw him. Let's find out, way number 1,375,000 of throwing Joe Lacob under the bus, thumb type wise, and get a bunch of likes for the new way you've thrown him under the bus. What's 40% of 37 million? It's 18.4 million. We're paying him 19.2. So what did you want it to be? You wanted it to be 18.4? Like, okay, be mad about that. We paid him 800,000 more than what you're mad about. So that's another thing that, gosh, if you just unlock this thing, cap sheets, go follow Yossi Gozlan. That's what I did. I listened to every single podcast last summer, all 30 teams. Why? I wanted to learn, and I knew that maybe they would talk about a guy that maybe the Warriors would eventually get, and then I would have advanced knowledge. And Sam Quinn, I'm shocked that Sam Quinn hasn't been hired by a team. This guy is the most creative guy ever. Like last summer, he came up with an idea. Again, we're strapped. We have, like I said, it used to be 4 Hall of Famers, 5 if you can include Iguodala, but I won't. That's locked in on your cap sheet, immovable. Now, Clay left, and look, Clay went to a team that went to the finals with Luka, with Kyrie. All you got to do is stand in the corner, and you get to start, and you're honored. Everybody loves you, and you get to start. Oh, by the way, and you get to start. Oh, by the way, they went to the finals. Like, that's way better than the Warriors were able to give you. Plus, Steve was benching you. You went through all that stuff. Okay. I got an offer from the freaking Dallas Mavericks. Bye-bye, Joe. Let's go play some golf, and I ain't going to talk to you. And what can Joe do? He's like, all right, you got me. I wanted to pay you 24, but, going to the Mavs at 17, you're probably going to go to the finals. You might push them over the break. Congratulations. So we had to break Clay up into pieces. That was Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, and one more guy, I think. I can't remember. And then that morphed into like Dennis Schroeder. No, actually Melton on the non-taxpayer. That allowed us to get under the tax. So it was Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield, got under the tax, signed Melton. Melton got injured, traded for Dennis. Dennis eventually got traded for Jimmy. Do you see like where we are stuck because Steph Curry makes not the same as Jalen Brunson. Do you get that? You got to understand that, right? Same thing with Jimmy. Like we're top heavy. Bless you, Draymond. You knew we were top heavy. You knew that you're sort of, getting gray hairs and, even volunteered to come off the bench before people get mad about that. Like he's already volunteered to come off the bench. So yeah, you're mad about him starting a game. Why? He's already said he'd come off the bench. So again, Warriors Twitter, mad about no reason. You're just mad. You don't know the true details. I'm just trying to help you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about yourself. There's a difference. I want you to feel better about yourself, feel better about the team. Meantime, as I'm talking, I better keep an eye on the timeline because you never know. Yep, Ernie got arrested. Jimmy's friend. All right. So the thing is everybody that complains about how we can't do anything, yet you won't state the obvious. Who did Ballmer just trade? His favorite guy. He traded Kawhi to reset the franchise. And so all these Steph stans who disguise themselves as Warriors Twitter, constantly throwing Joe Lacob under the bus, and yet they can't come to grips with the fact that Joe is the one owner that will never trade Steph, nor should he. Steph is one of one. He's the greatest of all time, a greatest of all time. I didn't say the, still think it's Michael. And Magic, if you count only Magic in his prime and not the last couple years. You ignore the last couple years as he was dealing with AIDS. So, and Godspeed to Magic, he won. He won that battle and became a role model. So, a higher calling. I think we need to flip it on its head, as Steph would say. In fact, Steph would probably say, he would probably tell you that we are so fortunate to have Joe that would never trade me. And I like it here in the Bay. And it's good to feel comfortable that I'll never be traded. The cost of that is this gigantic number right now. But that comes off the books in the summer. And then we can do some things. We can go free agent shopping just like the Lakers are doing right now. And that's fun. And you never know. Donovan Mitchell. So you need to root against the Cavs. You want the Cavs to implode so that Donovan maybe is a possibility. You want Denver to implode So that maybe Jokic is a possibility, although that one's tougher. You want, heck, Minnesota, them too, because maybe in the out years, if you go look up Minnesota, Anthony Edwards comes off the books not too far out after that, or am I mistaken? 2 more years after next summer. You know, it once you're with 1 year left, then it gets dicey, as we know. A guy named Giannis, a Greek freak, just went through that last year on his contract, right? Jimmy Butler last season or the season before, right? So it'll get fun next summer, and you got to understand that as well, that we get LeBron, it's probably only for a year. We can probably, that's probably why he's taking so long. He's going there, okay, I'm going to get a 1+1 if I go as a taxpayer mid-level, maybe if the Cavs can afford it, which they probably can't. I'm probably going to get a 1+1 with Miami, but it's veterans minimum. The Warriors, I only get 1 year, but it's 15 million. It's more than double, but it's only 1 year. I think he's leaning towards the Warriors. I mean, it just makes financial sense if the Cavs can't match the non-taxpayer. And maybe he's waiting around for another team to like, oh, just let me try one more thing, LeBron, and maybe I can match what the Warriors can give you. And by the way, the other thing, we got to be calling around to see who will take Moody. You know, you kind of, you know, you don't want to just do things linearly. You want to do things in parallel. So that's probably going on. And I don't know why we haven't heard of that just yet, because the math told Yossi Gozlan, he was actually the first one to say it, that is going to be Moses. Of course, me being the Warriors version of Yossi Gozlan, but much less qualified. That's why I'm on here on this live, to reiterate that, to amplify that, and just to let fans know. Now, if somehow this doesn't happen and it's wrong, and this whole live is wrong, like last night's live technically wrong, but I got slapped on the hand by Yossi for that. This one's on Yossi because he told me this. But I'll be accountable. It's all good. Oh, man, we got so many comments all of a sudden. Anything else I wanted to cover? Just to see the forest of the trees, forest for the trees all the time. We have Steph Curry. Man, that makes us special. We already won 4 in the last 12. We're batting .333. How's OKC doing? 1 championship, best GM ever. Okay, fine. He's the best GM ever. He's got 1 championship. We're 3 ahead of him. So, best GM ever, go ahead. Now you try and topple the Spurs. Oh, bad luck. You ran into Wemby. Oh, bad luck. We know a thing or two about that. We got a guy suspended. We had an ACL and an Achilles in the finals. We know about bad luck. Still won 4. San Antonio Spurs. Now, franchise-wise, they already had 5. Good for them. But the last 6 seasons, go to BKRef. Just click on any Spur. Go look at their, I'll do it for you. BKRef, pick a guy. Dylan Harper. And what you can do is click on the team. Oh, maybe because he's a rookie. That might be a problem. Who's been there the longest? Keldon Johnson. Yep, San Antonio since 2019-20. Click on that. SAS team. What place did they finish? 11th. I did this last night, though. So those of you that were here last night, I already did this example. Next season, finished 10th. Next season, finished 10th. Next season, finished 15th. Next season, finished 14th. Next season, finished 13th. Do you get it now? We didn't go through that. You got to be grateful. Don't look at life in a negative angle. Look at the beauty of life. Then you can move on. Now, it's not easy. I got plenty of shit happening in my life too, but I try not to think of it as shit. That's the first step. Steph Curry does it that way. It's hard to get there, man. I know it. It's hard to get to that perspective of life where everything's joy. But Steph has it, and he should be our role model in that respect. That someone's joking, obviously. Sign Bronny. I mean, we could, if that was part of the deal. I mean, it'd be like, all right, LeBron's half, 1 foot out the door. All right. LeBron, we'll trade for your son because he already got guaranteed by the Lakers. All right, we'll trade for your. Well, in fact, we'll trade Moody for your son. How's that? You happy now? You're coming now? You could do that. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go. Hey, there's some positivity. The Warriors were good last year if you ignore every time we lost to a team below 500. Who's going to guard LeBron and Curry? There you go. That's some positivity. I said not signing QP because we only offer qualifying rather than multi would be a great loss. It's just transactional, Matt. Like, you're mad about something that's just transactional. It's like you're on eBay. Do I need to do this? You're on eBay. It's you against total stranger. You only have $100. Total stranger, $200. The thing you just bid on just reached $105. You can't have the thing you're bidding on anymore. It's done. You lost. It's okay. There'll be a time when we can do it. We can do it next summer. Look at you. All head down and moping and all that. Dude, 365 days from now, it's going to be like a kid in a candy store for you guys. As I said, a lot of you guys truly don't deserve the experience that the Lakers fans are going through right now, but okay, you'll get that feeling of shopping for free agents left and right. It's going to be fun. So, just imagine that in the future and just know that there's that light at the end of the tunnel. See, I made you feel better about your team, just like that. Now you go spread that. You go do what I did to other Warriors fans rather than complain about the Warriors. Draymond Green was in the Chicago Bulls uniform. That's funny dreams. Yeah, we do have funny dreams. Jimmy for De'Aaron. Why would whoever has De'Aaron do that? And by the way, who wants Jimmy instead of De'Aaron? All right, breaking news. Blockbuster. Oh, Jaylen Brown traded to the to the Sixers for Paul George. That is a haul of picks. They just want the picks. So it came down to, okay, Jaylen Brown for Paul George, who is playable, 2 first-round picks that might be better than ours, and 2 second-round picks. I think we only have 2 second-round picks, if that. Let me check. Golden State. See our Discord? Go sign up for our Discord. It's pinned in the comment. WHOP.com/Let's Go Warriors. Where am I at? Teams. What am I looking up? Boston. Jimmy Butler. I forgot my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Second round picks. Warriors. Wow. We have really 1.5. 2. Actually, the second round rules are going to change next year, so that makes it even more confusing. I don't think we could have matched that. Besides looking apples to apples, Paul George can play right now. He's not injured. Jaylen Brown on the Sixers. Sixers are going all in. How many picks do they have left? Let's go look at Philly. So never mind when I said we'll revisit in February when Jimmy's rehabilitated, because why would the Celtics want Jimmy right now? Yeah, that's the problem. Let's look at their picks. Oh, they still have, okay, they have why can't they trade 2027? I don't get it. Huh. Oh, because they didn't have a pick this year. That's why. Stepien rule. Okay, so they had 3 picks and they gave up 2. Let's see which picks those are. We got to know what picks those are. Let me see. I mean, honestly, I don't understand the, of course there's a good reason for doing this. Celtics must really hate Jaylen Brown. 2 picks, so it's going to be favorable of own and Clippers, top 3 protected. Probably not that one. It's probably 2031 and 2033. There's probably something going on behind closed doors with Jaylen. Now, there was a guy, Arian, he reported that Jaylen had asked for a trade a few months ago. So anyways, back to Duren. Like, why would anybody want Jimmy for Duren? That makes no sense. Oh, Trey Murphy. Yeah, we still got to do Trey Murphy. But see, I that costs picks. Why am I going to send out picks when I'm resetting the team next summer? That's the answer to that. I mean, I guess I can go through the work of Trey Murphy. I don't feel like it right now. Right? So why send out picks when we're hitting the reset button next summer? Is Trey Murphy going to win us a championship this year? And you'd have to trade him for Kristaps. What's his salary? 25 mil. Pelicans 27. So we need to trade for what? Pods and Kristaps. Again, you're not trading Kristaps. You just agreed to a deal with him. And I got that from Yossi. I guess Draymond for Trey Murphy. I don't mind Trey Murphy, the player. It's the picks. Because, I mean, I minded if it was like Jaylen Brown, but the salary matching for Jaylen Brown is Jimmy Butler. So why would the Celtics want Jimmy Butler? So then you got to go, why would the Pelicans want Porzingis, who now you can't have it both ways. You don't like Porzingis because he barely plays. So now you can't change your position on that. Why would the Pelicans want Porzingis? I don't know, man. It doesn't work. In some ways, Trey Murphy doesn't make enough money. Just like Moody. Moody doesn't make enough to make him irrelevant in the LeBron versus Moody. He makes just enough. So I don't know about this Trey Murphy idea, because we're going to hit the reset, but we're going to be the Los Angeles Lakers next summer. We get to go shopping. And so let's just give ourselves, just try to improve the roster as best that we can. Out of the remaining free agents, it's LeBron. He's the best one. Second best, Rui. No, second best, Anthony Simons. Third best, Rui. And we got Yaxel to improve the team, which every team is entitled to basically, because that's how NBA works. You get a draft pick to improve your team based on how bad you were. We picked up Melton again when we thought we weren't going to have him. And I guess, let's see, we had Kuminga before that. He wasn't playable because Steve refused to play him. Now Steve is going to bring that down and play young players. Too bad. You know, you kind of learn things linearly in the NBA. So you're gonna do what you do until the wheels fall off, and Steve has finally come to the realization that, okay, I can't let people just get away with turning the ball over, and so he's going to change things. He can play, obviously got to play Yaxel, you know, probably got to play the young guys more because you got a lot of old guys and you got to get it through the 82 game grind. So back to Trey Murphy, I don't know how you would do the transaction. And so you just put your best foot forward for this team, knowing that you get to hit the reset button in a pretty nice way next summer. It's a different reset button. The other reset button you want to hit is go get Trey Murphy, bye-bye picks, right? That's kind of like, I don't know that that's a reset. Like Trey Murphy doesn't get you over the top, and you'd have to trade out somebody. So it's arguable if Trey Murphy's going to change the game more than Porzingis would. So that's the thinking on that. But I get it. It's a sexy thing, and you know, another Warriors Twitter trope. I don't want the Warriors to repeat the mistakes of the past. Waiting for a certain star player. Were we? I mean, we're trying to improve the roster every year with Steph Curry taking up a vast majority of the cap space. And then next in line used to be Kevin Durant, became Wiggins, became Jimmy Butler, right? So there's another big salary. Klay Thompson became, you know, he used to make 40 million a year, more than that. And then Draymond was making, you know, 25 mil as well. All four guys, Hall of Famers. It's hard, man. I know that gets laughed upon. That's another trope on Warriors Twitter. It's hard, but it is. And even though it was hard, I still won you 4 championships, and you still are entitled. Like, as if what? Name me, like, what did Michael Jordan mess it up for everybody? Like, you know, 6 straight finals when he was healthy, or when he was not, you know, when he was in his prime and not retired? Did he ruin it for these people? Is it a Steph Stan thing where you're trying to get Steph propped up next to Michael when you shouldn't even be comparing them? Like, why does it have to be like 7 championships in 12 years? Why? 4 in 12 is abnormal. Like 4 in 12 is, you know, way better than the norm, which is usually 1 in 12 or 0 in 12. You just got to appreciate Steph and what he's done for Dub Nation. And you still want more? Golly, when does it end? And it all comes down to these numbers. It's top heavy. Top heavy is top heavy is top heavy. It's not built from the ground up like OKC. It's not built from the ground up like the new Spurs with 3 straight top 5 picks. We did it with a 7 pick, 11 pick, 34 pick, and a free agent, and another free agent, actually, Andre, then KD. And we turned Sean Livingston into the, one of the best role players of all time. We had to take a, reclamation project. To expect to get a reclamation project every single year, hard to do. Hit a home run 4 times with Sean, swung and missed big time with Chris Paul. So what? You had the punch, Draymond. It wasn't so much the punch, it was that the video got out, which then made it very hard for Jordan Poole to reconcile, because just think about it. I mean, some of you guys have been on basketball teams, right? Since when has there not been a fight? Of course, there's been fights. I've been in a couple myself. I had a guy choke me. I know what it felt like to be PJ Carlissimo. It was at the Club Sport in San Ramon. So things like that happen. It's just, can you imagine if everybody got out their phone and videotaped the guy choking me? Because I was young and brash and I yelled at people. When they didn't pass the ball, I yelled at them. Come on, pass the ball. And then this guy, he's equally psycho. He snapped. But, I hold myself accountable for that. I snapped. I called him an MFer. Shouldn't have done that. Learn my lesson. He choked me. Did I learn my lesson? Yes. Never yelled at a guy, called him MFer ever again. I realized, I was like, yeah, that's not cool. Especially do out in public, let alone if there was the internet back then or on social media, throwing a guy under the bus like that. So if that had gotten on social media and everybody knew about it, I would be embarrassed. And I mean, there was no social media back then, and I was hateful towards that. I wanted to go back and, look at the security footage and let's arrest him, or, for assault. And I was like, nah, you know what? I kind of deserved it. It's basketball. It's just basketball. It's modern day gladiator, right? It's not chess, right? You go out there, it's physicality. It's name calling. It's trash talking. It's ego. It's, who's got the bigger, blah, 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 right? It's modern day gladiators. So that happens, but it got caught on video. And well, hey, that happens to teams that you think everything's going so well. You think it's going great. Then something happens. You've seen it all. You've been around basketball long enough. It happens. I've had people leave my team, form their own super team. I'm like, man, dang. And I asked my guy, Ross Lim, I go, what happened? Did I do something? Was I a bad coach? I didn't say that, but I think he knew why I was asking. Like, was it me? Ross goes, it's just comfort. We're going to go play with our buddies. We've always wanted to play, but we were too young, and now we've won a couple championships and they respect us more now, and they want us to go save them. So that was, taking my talents to South Beach. I was the receiving end of that. It happens. It's just basketball. So I had no problem when KD left, went with Kyrie and DeAndre. I literally had that happen to me. Let them go play. They're friends. They want to go play, go check off those boxes. It's all good. You should not live by somebody else's definition of legacy. I was the only Warriors reporter that never threw KD under the bus. I was grateful that he would let me film him work out. And then this whole stuff about him leaving and wanting to leave, and then, didn't want to talk to New York media, would never admit that he wanted to leave with Kyrie and whatnot. So what? I mean, I was copying video off of Instagram of him working out with Kyrie in Miami the summer before that. It's basketball. It's in real life. But you guys want to make it a fairy tale, like Shaq would say. So then you get all mad about it. No need to. We're doing fine. You go ask anybody. My guy, Mark Sapinoso, Laker fan. I can't believe it. He goes, I'm not mad at the moves today. I go, are you sure? Who's your wing? And then he goes, oh, it might be JK. So now he's excited about it. I'm like, okay. And Cameron Carr's pretty nice. Okay, but I don't know. But maybe that's the Luka culture. Just need some slow guys and, Colin Sexton and Quentin Grimes, who great pickups, run around like that. So, okay, Luka bring up the ball and Colin gets to play the 2 or what, or Grimes. Okay, I can see it maybe working, but that's a hell of a gamble. A lot of people are criticizing it. They don't think it stacks up against the Spurs and whatnot, and they got to go on a shopping spree. So you go on a shopping spree, you come up with that, and they think it falls short, way short of the Spurs or OKC. That's why you got Sam Quinn going, Luka's going to go back to Dallas. Watch. We get to do that, and that's one of the funnest things to do. You put together guys for tournaments. As I said on the last 3 live streams, I picked up Josh Urbistando, played in the PBA in the Philippines. We went to New York. We won that tournament. One of the best tournaments ever. And so it's fun to form teams. And you also know that you're not going to win every time. I mean, we got lucky in New York. It always takes luck. But it's always unlucky when you lose too. Phylon. That was a great pick because Phylon is just like Maxey and he can just play behind him. No star players joined. We tried. We tried to get Markkanen. Danny Ainge didn't want it. We tried. We tried to get Paul George. Ballmer didn't want it. Golly. Stop it with the entitlement, man. He was Who, me? What did I do? Describe it. What was I complaining about? I mean, you can't just point at the one time I complained versus the 99 times that I'm trying to uplift you guys to really convince you to stop complaining because it'll make your life healthier. But it's okay. If you really don't want to hear that, then that's up to you. It's your life. I don't want the Warriors to end up with the same roster. I just explained why it's the same roster. Why haven't you said trade Steph Curry? I would have more respect for you if you just came out and said that. But you want it all. You don't realize that you want it all. I'm just pointing out that you want it all. Would you rather Laker be like Ballmer and just trade Kawhi like that? Let's say you're a Clipper fan. And the equivalent of Steph Curry to you is Kawhi Leonard. Well, he just got traded. That's done for you. You as a kid loving Kawhi, you got to figure something out. Matt, yes, Yossi Gozlan. Joe Dumars would milk us for Trey Murphy. Yep, because they're desperate too. Let's check Discord, see if LeBron's a Warrior yet. Or not. No, they're still talking about Jaylen Brown and Paul George. Let me check the Paul George. The other reason why Boston did this, I'll bet you Paul George is coming off the books. Player option, so 1 more year. Jaylen, though, 2 more years after this, 3 in total. I don't know. That's their problem. Every franchise is going to go through something. How about Boston, right? They just had their Klay Thompson is leaving moment. It happens. So it happens. You can never forever go on a run. Uh-oh, here we go. We didn't go after Jaylen Brown. Like, so you would rather have Jimmy, who's going to play 0 games until at least Christmas, than Paul George, who's going to play more than 0 through Christmas. And Boston would rather have Jimmy. Maybe, depends what it's like in Christmas, but as of today, that's a really hard thing to go for is the guy that's injured. And they had to shop JB around, right? Just like Berserker was saying. Like the whole Giannis thing happened. If Giannis hadn't been available, then maybe Jaylen Brown never gets traded. But again, that's not our problem. We have our own problems. Let them worry about that. Great trade for the Sixers. Does that make them a championship team? Because they're all in now. I think they have sent their picks. 2 picks. Actually, they have a pretty good, it's normal. 7 over the next 7 drafts. But yeah, the dead weight there is Joel Embiid, obviously. Can't do much with that. And if they have him healthy, then yeah. But that's the problem, right? Joel. Is he going to be healthy in a 7-game series against the Knicks? We mortgaged the house on Jimmy Butler. What was your move? So stay 500 and do what with Wiggs and Dennis? I think the trade worked. Like, we have a pretty good won-loss record when Jimmy's healthy. But sure, make us feel bad about our Warriors. Okay. I'm telling you, man, I'm just pointing out what you're doing. If you would just stop with that, just keep it to yourself even, at least you wouldn't spread whatever you're going through to other people. We're just sitting here trying to enjoy our team and trying to, give you the transactional data to make you understand that trading out Moses for LeBron isn't that terrible. And again, Moses is going to play this many games until at least Christmas, probably January. And all LeBron has to do is play more than this number of games, 0, to impact our team more than Moses. Thanks, Jans. But we have to be careful. Myself included. It's tough to do when you can't fight fire with fire. You kind of just have to let them be who they are and just deal with it and just, protect your own energy. So yeah, it's hard though. Sometimes I get into little fights in the comments and stuff, but it's tough. I'm still learning how to be 100% high vibrational rather than 80%, let's say. Oh, Nuggets. Thanks for bringing up the Nuggets. Let's go look at the Nuggets situation and see if they have a pitch for LeBron. I don't think so because they are the worst over the apron of all the teams. At least the Knicks won the championship. Denver got eliminated in the semifinals, and their payroll is way up there. They got to fill 5 spots, and they are 10 million under the second apron. How do you do that? 10 million divided by 5. That's less than a veteran's minimum for each of these. You can't just go sign 5 rookies that were second round players or two ways. So now Jonas, they can get out of that one, waive him, but it's a $10 million. No, it's like a $2 million charge, one or the other. Yeah, protection $2 million. Denver's up shit creek, man. I don't know how they're going to fill out this roster. They cannot offer LeBron more than one of these veterans minimum slots. I'm not worried. Appreciate you, Jans. No, this is wrong. Warriors signing Melton for 2 years, $11 million, pretty much sums up the fact that LeBron is not coming to the Bay Area. Nope, completely wrong. Just look at the spreadsheet. But okay. I think it's less about the spreadsheet than you claiming the Warriors are terrible and that's my team. Please stop. I'm telling you, I like my team. Me and Dean. Dean's even more high vibrational than me. But he doesn't have to engage and he doesn't have to see everything that I see on Warriors Twitter because sometimes I need to see what's on there just to keep a pulse on the news, unfortunately. But that's why I made this Discord server. Another reason why. And that's why I call it a knowledge base, because this way you don't have to see all the replies. And it just comes to you. And they're reputable guys that aren't emo. Like if you are an emo journalist, you're not getting automatic feeds on my Discord. I'd rather just like the dude that writes for Denver. You know who I'm talking about. Long time dude. No, not my cup of tea. I'm like J. Cole. Go look it up. J. Cole. I like to spend my energy with people that have the same or better energy. All right. How can the Warriors afford LeBron? Non-taxpayer mid-level. Boy, are you not reading the tweets? Even the tweets would have taught you that. Let me just follow Yossi Gozlan. There you go. Follow Yossi Gozlan or myself, but you're here, so good on you. You made it. Caught you before you left. Oh, you're welcome. Clay Thompson. Stop it, Bruce. Oh, the poor Kings, man. Oh, man, I almost feel bad. Like, I'm not mad at Vivek. I just, oh, man, Vivek, you don't know how to run a basketball team. You just don't. Like, you run that worse than I would run my men's rec league team. Like, just some things you just don't do. Portland picking up Ja Morant was heavily criticized by Yossi and Sam Quinn as well. And when that happened, I'm kind of like, yay. So, you know, there's the way Dean Chambers looked at it. We texted each other. I mean, is it really that bad? This would be part of the pitch to LeBron. I'd pull up ESPN.com/NBA/standings, right? And I go to the Western Conference. I go, okay, OKC, San Antonio, you know they're good. Denver's having second apron issues. What are they going to do here? Peyton Watson, does that mean Aaron Gordon's gone? What are they doing? It's tough. And you see they're stuck too. I don't blame the Denver Nuggets either. What are you going to do? You just won a championship. You have to pay everybody. Are you not going to extend Christian Brown after his contribution to your championship? You have no choice. So they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. I would not want to be Denver right now, even though obviously their best 4 or 5 guys are pretty competitive. There's talk about trading Jamal Murray. I mean, you're like in dire straits, and we're lucky. We have the cash cow, Chase Center. Oh, you forgot about Chase Center. See, we have a cash cow, and a sponsor just paid $50 million to put the patch on the jersey. 29 other GMs right now are going, dang, man, you just got 50 mil just like that every single year. Man, Lacob knows how to run a basketball organization from the business side, at least. And I have to, 4 championships in, 14 years, whatever it is, 15. Any number of these teams would gladly want that. The Lakers are on the up and up, but they went on a shopping spree, and it was like, yeah, okay, we'll see. Luka, you have no wings on your team. We know the Rockets are like teetering, right? Minnesota just went all in to go small. That was our worst matchup, and they just made it one of our better matchups. So all we got to worry about, we don't even have to worry about Naz Reid. All we got to worry about is Rudy and Jaden, obviously Ant, but I mean, from a defensive side, like they were so long, and Randall was in there bullying people down low. Like, we got our asses handed to us against them in the conference semifinals, but they may be a better team overall now. I kind of think they did the right thing. You got to go all in especially when Edwards only has like 3.5 seasons left, or whatever it is, 3 or 4. Like, you have to go all in, otherwise he's going to leave, and he's your franchise. That is the problem with all these small market teams. Free agents don't want to go there, so you get one draft pick, you have to hold on to them, and that's what Milwaukee went through. So, but we now match up better against Minnesota than before. In fact, if you look at it, we might even be bigger than them all of a sudden, which is crazy. It's crazy to think just, 380 days ago, we were super small against them, getting bullied, and now we can bully them physically. Portland just got Ja Morant, and how are they going to play defense? So if we play them, okay, Dame gets Steph, or Ja's probably going to guard. Who is LeBron? Who is Dame going to guard? LeBron? Okay, we don't have Jimmy for a while, so Pods will start. So, okay, fine. Dame guards Pods. Then we got LeBron, Denny and LeBron. Then we got, okay, we'll start Draymond or Yaxel, one or the other. And then, so I guess it's pretty even. It's not like heavily in their favor. You can't tell me we can't beat Phoenix. You know what? It's wide open. The 3 spot is wide open. It's not that bad. Maybe Dallas got better. I don't know. They'll get Kyrie back. We'll see. I still like us. We had to play a pickup game right now with who you got. Kyrie fully healthy. Let's go. Morez Johnson, Mavs, healthy Derek Lively. I think the Warriors will win just because it's even. So if it's even, I'm going to pick the Warriors. Clippers, rebuilding time. So that's what Dean told me. I hadn't even looked at the standings. I don't care. I just care about the spreadsheet and the cap sheet for the last 2 or 3 months. But now that I got to look at it, it's not that bad. And I got to thank Dean Chambers for pointing that out to me. That's why he wanted to keep Porzingis. I wanted to trade LeBron for Porzingis so that we could use the non-tax pyramid level on Sexton. But then Yossi Gozlan, in case you missed it, told me that, no, you're not trading Porzingis. It just goes against the culture of signing contracts. You don't do that. So he's not getting traded. And looks like he's right. Now, he could be wrong, but then that's on him. I'm getting that from the expert. I'm not making it up. Loon might sign with the Knicks. Yeah, man. And I think Loon would be too old for us. And I'd rather have Gary, first of all. And if it's not Gary, let's just go get a young guy. Brandon Williams right here. If Moses gets traded, which we better check. Any latest and greatest? Yeah, Mark Stein. And next up, as if he knew something. No, he's just entertaining people on Twitter. LeBron James. What is this? Huh? I don't know. He posts okay stuff every now and then, so I've got to have him on there. Anything else? Quinten Post. Yeah, because of course he's getting interest. All you got to do is offer $6 million. We can't afford it. If we get LeBron, we cannot afford it. Now, if we don't get LeBron, we go all the way back and we'll use the taxpayer for Melton. And then we can afford to pay Quinten a little bit more, but it depends on Draymond, how nice he is with that stuff. But we can probably compete a lot better if Draymond continues to take the discount on Quinten Post's behalf. But this is just aprons. If you're going to be mad about it, be mad at the aprons. Quinten Post, if we get LeBron, if somebody bids $6 million to Quinten Post for this next year or a long-term deal, they got him. We can't match it. It's the aprons. It's okay. Guess who has the same problem? A whole bunch of teams. Denver. Miami's going to lose Norman Powell, probably, or it's very difficult to keep him. They're going to lose either Norman Powell or Jovic. They're going to lose one of them. It happens. It's the NBA. And there's a whole host of guys that just couldn't fit. Mitchell Robinson. Dolan decided to utilize the second apron. Yep, can't fit you. Detroit Pistons, Duncan Robinson, out. I'm sure there's a Pistons fans on Pistons Twitter like, how could you be so dumb? You got to keep Duncan Robinson. Nope, doesn't work that way. You have aprons. That's all you can fit. Don't be mad. It's actually fun because now I could have told you that Duncan Robinson wasn't going to fit. And that's exactly what Yossi does in his work. So he just reads the tea leaves, although he's super good at it. He's been doing it for a decade. He could tell you who's out. So he told me Moses is out. Am I going to doubt the foremost number one cap expert out there? No, I'm going to double check it and I'm going to confirm it. And then, by the way, so Yossi Gozlan doesn't care about Quinten Post. He has bigger fish to fry. He needs to now go do the cap sheet of the Sixers and the cap sheet of the Celtics and explain what's going on, what's going to happen the rest of the way, the draft picks, etc. He's a busy man. Me, I can sit here and worry about Quinten Post. And I can tell you, looking at this, if someone offers him $6 million, we cannot do it because they're just, everything's maxed out. That's a good salary, though. I think I would tip my hat. I go, QP, you did it. Luck of the draw. You're lucky that the Warriors can't pay you and match it. Although $6 million in the grand scheme of things for Team X out there, probably not that much money. So why not? Why not just do it? You know, I mean, I'm not mad. I kind of look at it as fun. Like I kind of look at it as, oh, if a team does offer that, then I actually read the spreadsheet correctly. I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure 99%, but hey, Luka got traded to the Lakers. So there's always that caveat. Jaylen Brown just got traded, so you just never know. Let's keep an eye on Discord. Breaking news. Santi Aldama to the Mavericks. Guess who predicted it? Yossi Gozlan predicted Santi Aldama would be sought after. Why? Because he's an asset that is a good contract on the Grizzlies. So he looks at 30 cap sheets all the time. So he knows that that's a good contract. And I'm starting to get a feel for that now that I'm looking at it all. And hey, they traded our pick, which came through Washington in the Anthony Davis trade. I actually know this. Like before, I wouldn't be able to like pinpoint, but now I can because of Yossi. So Santi Aldama to the Mavericks. Ooh, okay. Dallas is interesting. And don't be like, why didn't we get Santi Aldama? Okay, let's just go look at it. Memphis, because Hoops Hype, they cannot update their website that quickly. Santi Aldama, Santiago, 17 million. Who are we going to trade for Santi Aldama? Like, it would have had to be Pods and Moody. For Aldama, no, I'm not doing that. There's no other combination. So, and we're not trading Draymond. You know, that's another thing. You know, there's certain guys you just never trade. We thought Clay would never leave us, but he did. He surprised us. Good for you. You went to a finals team and all of that. We talked about that, right? So that was a surprise. But hey, 2 out of 3 Hall of Famers, 2 out of 4. But KD came as a free agent, so he didn't grow up with us. So really it's those 3, right? And still 2 out of those 3, that just doesn't happen. I mean, any other situation, Draymond would have been gone by now. And you know what? In a way, the punch actually saved him, because at that point, the punch, or the video of the punch, ironically, who is giving you different perspectives other than me out there? No. Warriors Twitter will just keep complaining that it doesn't allow you to, I call these the decision trees. It doesn't allow you to go off on another branch and think of life in a different perspective, which is kind of neat, you know? So like Draymond punched Jordan Poole. It got publicized everywhere. TMZ, shout out to whoever made $1 million from TMZ, or whatever it is, $250,000. Probably not even that much. They probably only paid 10,000, huh? And then you had to choose. So now you're putting Bob Myers, was it Bob Myers or was it Mike Dunleavy? One or the other, under the gun. Of course you're going to pick Draymond. Of course, then Draymond knew that he was going through mental health issues. So he almost retired, had to, you know, got suspended, got the chokehold, the headlock on Rudy, and had required weekly Zoom calls with the commissioner and, you know, a bunch of mental health people. You know, he had to really be humbled for that. So, I mean, it's a guy who grew up in Saginaw. You know, you could get shot on the streets of Saginaw, okay? Same thing as Oakland. Like, it's dangerous. It's like almost a war zone, with all due respect to actual wars. It's violent. And so the culture on the basketball court is kind of more leaning towards violence, or the threat of violence. That's how he was brought up. It was ingrained in his DNA as he grew up. So he maximized that. I'm sitting there at Summer League. He just got drafted, and guys are trying to post him up, and he's like, That's his way of like, can you imagine you're posting up on Draymond in Summer League, and he's going, Doesn't that bother you? Doesn't that like take a slice out of your confidence? Bingo. That's how they do it in Saginaw. That's how they do it in Oakland. I saw that all the time in my league that I ran in Oakland. Kid got shot the night before my league. Sunday morning. He got shot right outside the gym Saturday night. It's like, dang, it makes you think. I'm setting up for the league, and it's like, there was a dead body outside just last night. Like, man, it just makes you think. So I always hired refs. This is where I think I'm actually a better commissioner than Adam, but he makes money. I don't know how to make money. I just know basketball inside and out. I hired refs. I only hired the refs that understood the culture. Draymond would love the refs that I hired, in other words, because they know how to handle it. They know it's just banter. It's just you trying to give an advantage. Now, you can't cross the line. No MFers, no, a-hole and stuff like that. And Draymond for sure has been ejected for that. In fact, Trey Maddox, my friend, he refs in the NBA. I don't talk about the NBA with him because I don't want to impede on his sworn, that's his job. I don't ever want to come close to him ever risking his job for anything. So I don't ask him for anything or whatever, but he did tell me one time he did have to kick out Draymond from a game. We were watching the game, but this was way after. I don't ask him about anything unless it's distant history. And he's like, yeah, he called me a blah, 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 MFer and all that. And I'm like, okay, I probably would have tossed him as well. So it's basketball, at least basketball, if you've seen it from Oakland and Saginaw, it gets pretty volatile. And so him punching Poole, I mean, that happens, but the video ruined it. No one blames Warrior security, I guess. They're scot-free. They don't have to hold accountability on it, and they don't get lampooned by Warriors Twitter on it. But yeah, so in a way, Draymond got lucky because immediately they had to choose between Draymond and Jordan Poole, and Jordan Poole wasn't a starter. He's the new guy. He's the young guy. He didn't win 3 rings before that, or 4 rings. He only won 1 off the bench, and so that was one way Draymond could stay a Warrior. It's nuts, kind of nuts, but don't think about it too much. It gets complicated. If we do run it back, I don't really think of it as running it back because even Yossi Gozlan did not think we'd get DeAnthony Melton at this price. That's a win, but it does seem like he's coming back. But I almost feel like we got a free agent for cheap here. But okay, we are kind of running it back, but it was like nobody expected Melton to be this cheap. We got Yaxel and probably LeBron. So new guy, LeJ. We're doing what we can. Like the rest of these, and we traded for Porzingis in February. So while it is running him back, like he's kind of a new guy. So I don't really worry about we're running it back. And like, we're not the Lakers that have cap space. We're not even the Detroit Pistons that are, under the first apron to begin with. We started over the first apron. We had to get under it, right? Like we had to make these moves. Draymond had to opt out. It's harder for us. We're top heavy again. Hope you guys have gotten used to Bruce. Funny guy. This is not 2K. Wolves did the same thing as the Clippers when they used to give us issues with Zubats. Yeah, the Clippers got rid of Zubats. So now we match up better. And the thing is, everybody wanted to draft Adai Mara, right? I'm sitting here going, wait a minute. You're the same guy that lampoons Şengün. If you wanted us to pick Adai Mara, you should worship Şengün because he's the prototype. What are you doing here? So do you like 5s, traditional 5s, or do you not like them? Make up your mind. Oh, you're just complaining. I get it. Okay, that's it. Or you thought the fact that a die is 7-2 or 3 automatically rises the height of everybody else. I don't know. I just wouldn't pick a center in the draft in the first round. I wouldn't. How many of those flounder, right? First of all, it's like the Niners when they only pick wide receivers and defensive ends and maybe one other thing. They don't pick running backs, don't pick safeties. They probably got burned on the quarterback thing with Trey Lance. So they'll probably never pick a quarterback again. I think the NBA's version of that is the 5, unless it's Wemby. Wemby's mobile. Don't get a slower 5. Because the best that you'll get is like a, Şengün, Hartenstein. Why draft a Hartenstein when you pick him up as a free agent later if you need that? Chet Holmgren doesn't count. He's mobile. Skinny and mobile, can run the floor. That's different. You pick that 5 for sure. You pick that 5. But Şengün, watch, Mara's probably going to be awesome. Okay, all right, fine. Derek Lively was great, but that's a Luka team that Derek Lively was on. So it depends on it just doesn't fit with Steph. And again, I give the example of Bogut. Okay, back in the day when the game was way slower and we were the fastest team, we went and got Bogut in the trade. Bogut and Steph. Yeah, that meshed. Double split action with Clay. Man, it's great to have Clay, right? That might be one reason to reminisce and maybe get him on a buyout later in February if we're under the tax. Just to have, 5 minutes every night, 5 minutes of Splash Brothers. And then it'd be like, okay, we outscored them 12-8. 4 3s to 4 2s. Okay. 12-8 with old Steph and old Clay on the floor. 12-8. We're good, sub. Now we'll go back to normal where we actually play defense. I would do it. Come on. Who wouldn't do that? That's fun. But yeah, Mara, that's the thing is, how many minutes does Şengün play a game? Like, you got to take him out at some point. So like, it's not like Pods that's going to play, 30 minutes a game, or Yaxel can play 30 minutes a game, or Guy, right? You draft wings, you draft mobile guys, and yeah, that's what you do. I wouldn't even not even Morris Johnson, but Morris is a beast. He's an athlete. He can get up and down the court. Like that's an asterisk. He's a power forward that can do that. You're not doing Koa Pete. You're not doing, the other power forwards for all we know. I think of Yaxel as a 3 that can play the 4. But the pure 4s, Morris is an outlier. He can run up and down the court like crazy. Him in a wind sprint against OG Anunoby, pretty even. However, OG is way more skilled than Morris. So that's his ceiling. Same thing with Yaxel, actually. OG gets the comp because he won a chip and he was awesome. Second best player. What are other comps of power forwards? So I wouldn't draft, I wouldn't draft Isaiah Stewart in the top tier. Like this year we got an 11th pick. What I mean is top 10. So in a normal year, they're any one of the 4 picks could have been number 1. So Yaxel is really like a 7 pick. Isaiah Stewart was 16th. Guys like him need to stay down there. Now Morris, okay, they took a gamble on that, but we'll see. Tatum a warrior. Upgrade Pods. His salary's too low. You have to look at it the other way, which is we're getting great value for this. Now, next year, when he makes 17 million or whatever it is, you can check his cap hold. So this is like just on the books. He is worth, where's cap holds? Oh, we got to go to next year. 28 season. Podziemski cap hold down here is 17 million. So it's like, okay, next year is kind of projected to be 17 million. His agent is going to want to hit probably closer to 20. But if I'm running the Warriors, I'm like, let's just negotiate it next summer because I'm clearing the deck. And if you deserve 20, I'll pay you 20. But I'm clearing the deck. So I want to keep it clean just in case Donovan, has issues with the Cavs and he wants to leave. We could pick up an MVP caliber player just like that. It'd be the easiest pickup. Like, you don't even have to trade anybody, right? So you see why it's important to keep the cap space just in case Donovan Mitchell falls in your lap. Just in case. You wouldn't want to have missed it. So you got to do it. So I'll learn something in August. If we sign him to something 17 million, whatever, I don't know. That's my logic is telling me right now we shouldn't even extend Steph. It just should be gentleman's agreement. We're going to clear cap space next summer completely, or near completely. Certainly completely if Moses gets traded to make space for LeBron, which again, that doesn't hurt us terribly if this 13 comes off. Anything else? The Warriors pick. Yeah, the Mavericks also acquire draft rights. Wait a minute. The Mavericks got the trading Santi Aldama to the Mavericks for AJ. Yeah. Memphis, they're hoarding picks. But this is the bottom side of it, 21 through 30. What's top 20 protected? 2 future seconds. Official, let's go. Okay, scroll down. I don't know. Why did it? Well, my Discord server is a tad slower than Twitter. Anybody know? Let me scroll down. Sorry, Elijah. Thank you for being on. Did we get him? Did we get LeBron? Why is Warriors Muse going, let's go? Let me check the tweet. Twitter's so slow right now for me. Oh, because I'm not on my Wi-Fi. Oops, clicked on the wrong one. Let me check my secret channel. I lost it. Did you guys confirm it? Nobody's I must have deleted it. He deleted it. Maybe it was World Cup. Could have been World Cup. Okay. Let's get through the comments. I got to use the restroom. What about Bronny? He got signed by the Lakers. Have to acquire him by trade. And I do got to use the restroom because I drank tons of coffee to stay awake. So I'll be right back. Let's run a commercial. Restroom break. Be right back. Plus 60-second commercial. Thank you. Be right back. And let me run a commercial. Oh, wait. I got to log in for that. Studio.youtube. Let's see. Live. Wow. I'm running a commercial. See you in 60 seconds. All right. Well, Keith Smith, he's a Celtics fan, and he's like, maybe the Celtics have more moves coming, but obviously the Celtics got a little bit worse. Oh, that's a good tweet by Keith Smith. He says he's been a pessimistic guy in the past. Yaxel pick, yep. Elijah, good to have you, man. Cool. One new message. Anything? Mavericks. Oh, let's look at their roster real quick before I leave. 2 hours and a half. Kyrie, I like Max Christie. The only AD trade I would have made would have included Max Christie, Najee Marshall, and my reasoning was they would have taken Jimmy Butler to tank in February. But I didn't like the idea of having AD extension looming, but I just wanted to do something. And it turned out the something was Porzingis. So I wasn't mad. And shout out to Shivansh, who noticed that Porzingis' salary matched that of Jonathan at the time or before that. And it was going to be a huge trade. So it was going to be Jimmy and like Pods and maybe Moses, I forget, but we got Max Christie, AD, Max Christie, Najee Marshall, probably Hardy or D'Angelo, whichever contract they didn't want, and Clay. So I took 2 bad contracts. Actually 3 if you count AD as a bad contract. And I could never get a Dallas Mavericks fan to say yes or no to that because it was so much. It was like we're going to have Najee Marshall start, Steph, Najee Marshall, Max Christie, Anthony Davis, and Draymond. So it was kind of really skewed and unrealistic. I think the moral of that story is GMs would never trade that many people. That's just too much. But that's the only trade that I would have done at the February deadline. Yeah. Yeah, it's not possible. Yep. That was the first guy I was trading. Yeah, I was totally with you on that. And then Yossi told me no. Okay. So huge assumption went out the window. I mean, I spent 3 hours on a live last night talking about that. That's how invested I was in to trade Porzingis right here. And now I feel embarrassed because like it was never going to happen. According to Yossi, I still like 1% of me doesn't believe him, but I don't know. What do I know? We gotta know when to take our place. Oh, he predicted. Did he predict it? Oh, let's see Yossi Gozlan at his genius best right here.
This is not based on anything, and we haven't seen any indication that something like this could happen. I would not be surprised if they trade one of Embiid or George today or tomorrow. And it would most likely be George because I just don't think they can continue with all these contracts. You're wasting Maxi's time. Like I've thought about this a lot. I feel like the Sixers are entering a point where Maxi just finished his 6th year, all NBA season. He's in his absolute prime, and you're just capped at this roster, which is like, okay, it was impressive. They beat the Celtics. You got to the second round and then got swept by the Knicks. Like I'm at the point where I feel like they should either trade one of George and Embiid with some draft picks so they can get more cap flexibility and improve the roster now, or just trade Tyrese Maxey, because I think they're just wasting his prime at this point. Because like they're not even going to be able to bring back all of Grimes, Oubre. Like that's not even asking for that much. So the question is, how much draft equity do they need to give up? They got that Clippers pick in 28, Clippers swap in 2029.
I told you he's a freaking genius. I mean, he called it. He called it as far as you could call it. Shams is here tweeting it out, and he's going, wow, I never saw this coming. Guess who saw this coming? Yossi Gozlan saw this coming. Like, that's how you manage a cap sheet. By the way, he would tell us to trade Steph. So it comes with that. You have to be total, robotic, no emotion involved, cutthroat spreadsheet guy. But everything's connected, and he knows a good contract. He knows a bad contract. And he also knows that we're never trading Steph. So a little bit different here, and he understands it, but he also thinks we're going to suck. So let's teach him. Oh, boy. So with that, I will delete that comment. And then you're going to accuse me of, oh, I can't have an opinion. Whatever. Call it whatever you want. I don't want your energy messing with my energy. Like, I love my team. I want to roll the ball out there and play. This is probably going to be LeBron. I don't see why it won't be. Where else are you going to go, LeBron, for this amount? Number one. Number two, you wanted happiness. Boy, you're going to be happy with Steph and Draymond in there, and the fact that everything's 5-star. Everything. There's not a single, there's golf courses just like you want. You're not that far from your home in LA. It's a no-brainer. Miami can't afford it. They got to pay you veterans minimum at best. They can't even do that. They're under the first apron. They can't. They can give you the D'Anthony Melton salary. And then the Cavs, they can't do it either. The second apron team. So they got to use taxpayer mid-level, which would be $6 million. $6 million or $15 million. I mean, that's why I'm kind of the other part of me, right? I'm not just going to turn my back on Moses and go, see ya. No, man, I feel bad. Like, this is enough of a no-brainer for me to say right now that I feel bad about Moses leaving, but I just see it as inevitable. And it's unfortunate that he's injured, because right now, even Rui Hachimura would make more sense to sign Rui and then send Moses out. Like, even if it was Rui, let alone LeBron, and LeBron's way better than Rui. Right? So, but I don't want to make anybody feel bad either. So it's just kind of like, man, that's just life. It happens. But like, we can start reminiscing about Moses. Like, what a guy, man. Like, I mean, Steph is going to be like in 3 weeks. Steph, by the way, next week I'll be in Tahoe following Steph around. 7 days from now. So that'll be fun. I'll have some behind the scenes. But Steph is going to go out and do the charity thing for Moses. You know what? It's perfect. Look at it in the positive light. Assuming LeBron comes here, assuming Moses has to go, Steph's coming to visit you, help you out with all the great things you're doing in your community. You're still getting paid. You're still rehabbing. It's just for a different franchise. We'll find out. There's still a chance. Okay, like, I could be wrong. I mean, I was wrong about yesterday. I was wrong about Porzingis. Boom. it dropped on me like an anvil in the morning, and I was embarrassed. Same thing could happen again. I'm like, I just know that I could be wrong, but all the signs are pointing towards this. I could be wrong. I don't know. So the signs pointing to it like that, I'm like ready to say goodbye to Moses if it happens. I'm like preparing myself. Tom, on who he'd take, Jimmy or AD? Let's listen in.
That's a good question because I don't even know that I have an answer for you. I like Anthony Davis. I like Jimmy Butler. Obviously, very different in how they go about what they do. Let's remember, the Warriors were pretty good when Butler was healthy. Him and Steph together, it worked. It absolutely worked because one did what the other one didn't do. Anthony Davis, tremendous player, right? Shot blocker, rim protector, rebounder, scorer. Neither of them stretched the defense much. Anthony Davis, I think now you can say he's injury prone. I think people would agree with that. I don't know. I will tell you this. If the Warriors have Jimmy Butler on their team, they're not better than the Spurs or the Thunder. If they go out and get Anthony Davis, they're not better than the Spurs and the Thunder. If they go out and get Anthony Davis and LeBron James, they're not better than the Spurs and the Thunder. I don't know that they have an avenue to be better than those teams. That's why they will tell you, just get us into the playoffs, give us a crack at it, and we'll see what happens.
I think we got to stop comparing to OKC and the Spurs. I mean, those are two different paradigms. I mean, those are a different paradigm. You've seen the trade. Well, it would have shown up what got to be PG and Jaylen, right? Did Warriors Twitter already complain that we didn't get Jaylen Brown? Let me check my Warriors Twitter feed. Secret. The fact of the matter is Gary Payton is one of the best vet min pickups you could ever ask for. So that takes up a spot, and we don't have that many spots. Like, maybe we'll get a 15th guy, but like we're pushing up against the first apron, and this is assuming we'll get LeBron or who's left? Anthony Simons or Rui? That's it. Right? Again, those guys are going to play more games than Moses until whenever Moses comes back. So unfortunately, those are facts of the matter that are, pushing Moses out the door. Unfortunately, hate that it's no, I don't hate anything. It's unfortunate. I don't like to use that four-letter word. It's unfortunate that it's bad timing for Moses. Just so happens that his salary is that much. Just so happens that he's injured right now. Just so happens that it's LeBron. So veterans minimum wise, to answer your question, I only got one slot here, and that replaces Moody basically, which would probably be Gary because he's so versatile. And then if QP gets poached, as I said, if someone's got 5 or 6 million, they can post from us, assuming LeBron's coming, or assuming we're using the non-tax pyramid level. And we've only got, LeJay Jones, I think we got to sign at this low number. That's the whole point of having the second round pick and picking him, is to lower the available, lower the cap hit. Something happened? No. Let's see. Connor Farrell. Where to send Mo? I would say somewhere that wherever we can get a second round pick or more. Probably not a first round pick. No way. I mean, Jimmy was traded for 1 first round pick. So Moody will not be traded for a first-round pick. Plus, he's injured. So time to stock up on a second-round pick because, veterans minimum, that's another thing to answer your question about who are the veterans minimums. Other than Gary, like Gary's pretty special as a veterans minimum, but why is my background so crappy? I think it's because it's having trouble rendering the time of day and the brightness in the room versus my black background. But veterans minimum wise, most of them are pretty much the same. A veterans minimum is a veterans minimum. So it kind of doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm assuming we're not getting AD because, first of all, the numbers don't work. He's more expensive. So where are you? Unless Quinten Post was gone already. And even that, that number isn't tremendous. And why would Washington want Jimmy? So that's already been shut down by the Washington reporters. So I think we can cut off that branch on the decision tree. Wouldn't be exactly right, but we're the Warriors, so we're different. And that's why Dub Nation should be more grateful than they are ungrateful, because we'll never trade Steph, and that's the beauty of it. That's what makes it cool, right? I should just get rid of my background, see what it looks like. Say hello to my black couch and my attempt at a green screen that obviously failed tonight. I don't know why it failed tonight, because normally, it's too much ambient light. It's the afternoon. Normally it's dark throughout. So it's having trouble rendering the light with the dark. Normally we're on at 8 p.m. for all the people in India. Like, that's why Shivansh isn't on, because it's 2 a.m. Moody going to be Melton. It took you that long to come up with that, Bruce. Yeah. Don't get mad at Tom Tolbert, though. He's done a lot for us, so you got to give him a pass. Definitely thinking of Philly. Oh, good question. Let's go look at Philly's cap sheet. Can they afford it? Let's keep checking Discord just in case. Look at Yossi working. Okay, Philly. Paul George and Jaylen Brown make the same, so it's straight up, so it's pretty much the same numbers. And they got one more spot to fill. They'll be under the tax. Okay, so they would have to trade out somebody. It's not going to be Phylon. They just got Dean Wade, so it's not him. I don't think there's enough, because these are all minimums. And yeah, you're under the tax, but then that opens up the 15 mil. When you open up the 15 mil, you still got to fit it under the first apron, which is 209. So you got one more spot to fill. That'll put you at 198. So you're under the luxury tax. What's 209 minus 198? 11. They can only pay LeBron $11 million. See how that works? We can pay him 15. We're ready to trade Moody. Maybe they have a guy they can trade. They're Moody. But they don't, because these are all minimums. And you're not trading Phylon, who doesn't make enough. You're not trading Dean Wade. You just got him. You're not trading Edgecombe, Maxey, or Joel. The problem with their cap sheet is obviously Joel. And previously Paul George, but now they got better with the same salary. So you could say it was a good trade for the Sixers. They had no choice, and they had to spend picks. So now they're going to be out those picks, and every other year they'll have a pick, and that's it. So yeah, I just eyeballed it, and they can only give LeBron about 11 million, I think. We haven't had, oh boy. I mean, we'll be fine. Here's our roster. Who we playing? Name a team. Who we playing? Game 1. They're going to go OKC, San Antonio, game 1 somewhere. I told you, you missed the part where I said it's wide open for the 3rd spot, guys. Second apron problems, new team problems. Rockets have their own problems. Timberwolves, new team, smaller, shorter. Portland, diminutive backcourt with Ja and Dame. I don't know what they're doing. They ruined it. Phoenix Suns are the Phoenix Suns. You never know with them. Certainly beatable. Which one of these teams is unbeatable aside from OKC and San Antonio? That's good enough for me. If we have a pretty, we got the cheat code, just like Jimmy said. We got a cheat code. Pretty much only 2 cheat codes in the NBA, where you go into any game, anything can happen because of the cheat code. Now, our cheat code was only available for 43 out of 82 games, and that sucks. So he's got to be fully healthy, but that's part of the problem, right? So it is what it is. But you roll out the ball tomorrow, I like our chances. You don't. You don't like our chances. That's on you. You be you then. I can't take away your free will, man. I can only tell you that the way my free will looks at it sure feels better. I've been where you are, and this is better. So you got to learn what it is that's bothering you deep down inside, because it's not basketball. I can tell you right now, it's not basketball related. It's something else. But you figure out what that is, you'll be like, oh, I got it. You know what it is for me? My relationship with my dad. That's what it was. Well, there's more things than that too. There's always challenges. But I learned that my dad is the way he is because X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F. And you're like, oh, I actually love him more for that now, because I know how he is and what he went through and why he is the way he is. That solved everything. Most things. But now I can apply that formula to everything else. That's the best part of this live, what I just told you. It's probably a relationship with somebody close. Mo for Derek Jones. No, we're not taking back any salary for Mo. We're getting LeBron, and then we're trading Mo for a veterans minimum or nobody. We'll just fill that spot with Gary. No. If you want Derek Jones Jr., you got to do it another way. At that point, you can't do anything right now. The salaries are too small. Like, what, you're going to trade Gee and Brandon Podziemski for Derek Jones Jr.? Who would do that? That's a terrible trade, right? We're trading Mo out so that we can give that money to LeBron. That's kind of what it is. And there's no other way to improve the team, because LeBron is better than Moses, especially when Moses can't even play tomorrow. Right now. Now, April maybe LeBron has sciatica and Moses is a better player than LeBron because he can at least show up and run up and down the court, play defense, and hit threes. But we're not building the team for that far away. We're building the team to play 82 in the first, set of games up until February. It's kind of how it goes. And just by the sheer number of it, if it's not LeBron, okay, then it would make sense to just get somebody. Rui, maybe, Anthony Simons, both of those guys make more sense than having two guys injured. And again, that's why I think it's going to happen. See, you see this? I'm glad Jimmy Rester is not. And Tim's absolutely right. He is enraged. There's something going on. I would just delete the comment on here. There we go. Didn't I explain this? Oh, man. You missed it? Oh, man. There you go, Bruce. Sabonis and DeRozan, two terrible contracts. Why would you want those contracts and have to pay those ad nauseum? Who are you trading for them? There's so many things. First, you got a salary match. Then you got to evaluate the contract, how long it is. Okay, DeMar's $25 million. Who are you trading? You can't trade Kristaps because we just signed him. And it's gentleman's agreement that I'm not going to trade you after you just signed up with us. I explained that already. Sabonis, $45 million. Who are you trading? Jimmy? Why would Sacramento want Jimmy? They're rebuilding. They want picks. You know, send picks out for Sabonis? I don't know. Yeah, I think just all I can say is go look at these cap sheets. Hoops Hype. You just Google it, right? Hoops Hype salaries, teams, team salaries and contracts. Pick your team. Sacramento. Look for Kings. Wow, they got a high, man. They're paying, they're third most right now. It'll change, but and look at this. Go to other pages to know how inflated 48 million for Zach LaVine is. 45 million for Sabonis. Kind of like, ooh. You can go to BKRef. You can go bkref.com salaries. Google search. Player contracts. Cool. Let's go here. Boom. All of them's in order. Start at the top, descending order, Steph Curry. Sort by year. Boom. Click that. Steph's at the top. Now you can compare. Let's go look at who's similar to Sabonis. 45 million. 26th highest paid player. How are you gonna, add up to 45? Who are you trading? Draymond was making up to 27, 25. So that doesn't make sense. I don't even need to talk about Sabonis would be a poor fit. It doesn't fit mathematically. So we don't even need to talk about the fit. It never gets there. There's just certain guys we can't trade for. Like there's a whole host of salaries we can't do. All of these. So, and then if you want to trade down here, the problem is really the only guy making anything substantial was Moody at 12.5. You're not trading Yaxel at 6. Even if Yaxel was a veteran like Pods, young veteran, you don't trade a guy on a rookie contract if he's playing well. And you just signed Horford, so you're not trading him. So like, this is all we can do. Just like, be humble. Be like, oh, okay, I don't get it. So yeah, I don't want to complain because I don't get it. There's no reason you should complain. I'm not saying you are. I'm just using you as an example for other people. Don't take offense, just in case the other 70 people on here were wondering if Mike Dunleavy and Joe Lacob are terrible at their job because we don't go out and there's no rumors about Sabonis. There's no rumors about DeRozan because it just mathematically doesn't fit. We did look at DeMar when we thought we could trade Porzingis, but then we learned more things. Love it. Tim Kawakami doing the paladin in hell role. You guys know Dungeons and Dragons, the handbook. There's a picture in there that has a paladin in hell. He's like a fighter. He's in armor and he's in hell battling all these demons. I actually interviewed Tim Kawakami and I told him that. And he goes, well, I don't know about that because he's not familiar with Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, but he thinks of it as whatever the dragon show is. I've never seen it before, but yeah, there was a guy that took out a sword and just ran into the cavalry and obviously died. But so it's a little different. Like, I'm like, but my paladin in Dungeons and Dragons, he didn't die. He took on every single one of those. It's like I Am Legend, a bunch of zombies. What if LeBron signs less than it to me? Then can we? No, no. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's mathematical. It's 12.5 million. We're over the first apron. You can't be over the first apron. That's the new collective bargaining agreement. It's salary slots. It's puzzle pieces. It's Jenga, right? So it's like Jenga. Take a slot in, take a slot out. It's not. What you want to do is you want to shave a little bit of wood onto that Jenga piece. It's not allowed. Every Jenga piece is set in stone, or in this case, set in wood. When Moses signed the contract, that's a Jenga piece. So you want to give them extra like that? No, that's like, sawdust on top of the Jenga piece. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You're either in or you're out. You can only have so many Jenga pieces. In this case, some are bigger than others, but it is kind of like a Jenga construction, except Steph Curry's piece is bigger, right? So, but it all has to fit. All has to fit. Oh, thanks, Melly. I'll have timestamps. Timestamps will be added in 2 hours. All right, one last look at Discord and we'll call it a night. Ah, poor Tim. He's dealing with enraged people. Oh, we hit the 3-hour mark. So I think that's it, unless anything comes through the wire on Twitter. Or as Jeffrey used to say, Twitter. Jeffrey, are you out there? Let's see if anybody texted me. Uh-oh. Nope. just my friend Mark, who's a Laker fan because he grew up on a military base in Guam, and everybody there rooted for the Lakers. Oh yeah, Team USA. Oh, do we want to watch party Team USA? Is it over? I think it's over. It started at 2, right? No, it just started. I would be crazy to stay on live, half watching World Cup Soccer USA and half waiting for LeBron. It might not happen tonight, though. So my Laker friend, Mark Sapinosa, he's like hoping for Jonathan Kuminga. He's hoping for Jonathan Kuminga. All right, we'll call it a night so everybody can go watch World Cup. Next live at the latest, Friday, July 3rd, 7-ish for Yaxel's first game. Wow, I guess I know what I'm doing for the next couple hours here. Love it. These are funny responses. All right. That's all I got for you. Just us 1, 2, 3. Let's go Warriors and Brate. We will see you whenever LeBron signs. Thanks for joining. I hope you learned something today. Didn't mean to be hard on you if it sounded like I was hard on you. I'm not here to make you feel bad about yourself. That's the last thing I want. In fact, I'm trying to do it different. I'm here to make you feel better about the Warriors. We're going to be fine. The number 3 seed is up for grabs, and most seasons, that's pretty cool. Remember when we were the odds-on favorites, period? People didn't even want to compete against us. They're sitting there in the huddle, literally. Who you got? KD? Who you got? Clay? Who you got? We used to be okay in San Antonio. It's okay for us not to be like that. Come on. We had our run. It was cool. You know, times change sometimes. Now we're the underdog and we can go, oh, yeah, I'm coming after that 3 seed, you guys. Let's see what you can do with your roster now that, you know, you're strapped. Or the only team that's not strapped, the Lakers. Oh, the Lakers, new squad. All right. You see your new squad. Let's go. All right. So that's it. Just us 1, 2, 3. Brate. See you soon.